Hello, good morning, everybody. It is an early stream, but yes, hello, welcome to our very special. Sorry, it was a blur. How did you say I was doing an intro? Someone did a blurb. I'm the only one who can hear it. Fuck you, Sin. I was doing an intro. Fuck you. So hello, welcome to the morning stream of this is a very special segment where we will be it's the end of the year, so definitely we wanted to do this really fun segment where we'll be talking about our picks for 2022, and I got lovely folks that joined us. I'll drink water in a bit, but so yeah, this particular stream, we got three lovely people in the house. We got Philgamer, aka GM Storyteller Jay. You know, he's been here in a couple of streams, done a couple of collabs with him related to TTRPG in the past. And then we got Lance, aka Wasabibuns, with the cat, who is yes, we got special guest Klaus.
Oh my gosh, look at what he did!
He destroyed that wet food.
I know.
Massacred.
Good morning, it's breakfast time.
Yes, breakfast time for the really big cat. And then we have, last but not least, JazzyBassy, our resident cafe barista elf from a different realm, aka Eberron, best realm. Bias.
The
based.
superior reign.
Yes, the
superior realm.
The superior realm. Sorry, can't change my mind. But yeah.
Wow, I'm so delayed here. My apologies.
No, you're kind of good. You're good, at least in my stream. I don't know. But there's latency on my stream, so I apologize in advance. Twitch has been weird and all that. So yeah, today it's just
You're fine, Queen.
It's just a chill stream where we're just going to be doing this really fun thing. Actually, Jazzy brought up the idea because the original concept was top 10. And then Jazzy was like, hey, why don't we do a grid? You know, like, and then put it in like a cute setup.
Actually, I can talk about the format a bit. So, like, if anyone has ever seen... this was like way back when in like old like anime forums where people were like, okay, so here's my personality in like a grid, right? So they just had like a 3x3 grid of content that they enjoyed, and that was like, you know, a way to like show your personality. Well, Trash Taste just kind of revived that as a format where they just talk about their terrible taste and put it on a 3x3 grid. That's essentially what we're doing, but instead of being terrible taste, it's our sophisticated research options of the year.
Yeah, and that shout out to Trash Taste for the inspiration. It's like Sea Dog, and Joey and Grant.
Hold on.
No, kidding.
Hold on, I can do that actually. Hold on.
Oh no, you're gonna tell them. Ay, gumaya na ako. Watch. Fuck. Sorry, Connor. I'm but a humble degenerate place. I'm sorry. But anyways, it's a very casual stream. It's a bit hopefully it's not too scuffed. But we definitely got our grids, except for I realized, Jazzy, I don't have because I know you wanted it as a surprise.
I'll send it to you.
Please. I realized I'm gonna set it up on the spot.
I'll send it to you.
But yeah, while I'm doing that setup on the spot, let's start first. Now that we know how this segment or this little TTRPG talk's gonna go, let's start first with, of course, the introductions. I've said their names, but we will get to know them, how long they've been doing TTRPGs, their favorite genres, their favorite, let's say, interactions or the kind of sectors or segments within the TTRPG scene, and of course, two truths out of 2 lies and 1 truth. Is what we're gonna do in a bit. So let's start first with I don't wanna going with the youngest, but I was like, how young would Jazzy be?
I'm an elf.
So you live. Okay,
I'm old.
Oh shit. Okay. So
Yeah.
super old. So youngest. So that
Yeah,
would
I'm older than you, bro.
Oh shit. Oh shit. So between me and Lance, who's younger?
You're younger.
Oh
You're
my god.
younger than I am.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. No, I'm not gonna do intros. I'm not gonna do intros.
Also,
Oh, you're eating. Okay, okay. So
no,
we'll
it's
just.
fine. I can go. I can go. So I can get this done with, and I can finish my Spanish roll.
Yes.
So, how do I do the intro? Just like who I am and
yeah, who you are.
like
who you are, how long you've been GMing or playing TTRPGs. They could be two separate timelines, and then favorite genre. There's a list on the chat, but so let's start first with the year, how long you've been GMing, and how long you've been playing, and your favorite TTRPG genres.
Great. So, this is gonna be quick. It's me, Wasabibuns. I'm the problem here. Well, I got coffee this morning, so you can call me Lance. I prefer being called Lance. So I have been playing role-playing games since 2016. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So I've been playing TRPGs for 6 years. And genre, I was gonna say just horror, but honestly, I think I've kind of spread into gothic horror. Wow, so far from horror, right? Gothic horror, I love it.
Yeah.
And what do you call this? Mystery, whodunit. Oh, cat.
Squirrel. Squirrel.
Sorry.
And yeah, that's me. I am not going to prolong your agony any further.
The other questions I also want to ask, so that people get to know you. There's a lot of aspects in the TTRPG scene, like game design, writing modules, community events. There's also running games in general. What's your favorite aspect about the TTRPG scene?
Well, of course, first and foremost, it is running games for me because I like stories. I like making up stories. Wow, this doesn't sound good. I like making up stories. I like putting my players through my stories. And I think it's the very heart of TRPGs. But of course, the community is awesome. You get to share all these wonderful stories with people, and you get to grow together in gaming. Yeah, those are my favorite parts of the TRPG thing.
Okay, and the last but not least, make 2 lies and 1 truth, and we'll try to figure out which one's the truth. So like statements, like for example, I like pickles. Second, I like dark chocolate, and then we will figure out which one's the truth, and the other 2 will be the lie. About yourself.
Okay. Did you? I wish I had like 5 minutes on that one.
Yeah, we need a script for this one.
It's it's fine. I'm
You
so
think this
sorry.
GMC would be much better at like coming up with 2 lies already? It's harder than it sounds. Though.
Yeah.
It's okay. We can skip it for now if you'd like.
No, it's okay. I just
we
need the
can go back
third
to
one.
it.
Okay.
I just need the third one. I can do this. Give me like 5 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, just while Lance is thinking, you guys, because of the charity stream that happened last Christmas, one of the goals, the milestone goals, was that 3 people in chat will get a free copy of Binding the Bullet, the Strixhaven mod that I wrote. If you guys want to be part of the giveaway, just avail it through the channel point giveaway. So just click it. It's just easy at that. It's just 1 point, and then you're gonna be part of the raffle. We're gonna do the random spinny thing. So 3 people can win a free D&D module. Thanks to the milestone goal. So yeah, going back to Lance, 2 lies, 1 truth about you.
All right, let's go with fun lies and truths. One is that I am allergic to gluten. The second one is I am lactose intolerant.
Oh shit.
And the third one is that I am allergic to butter.
Oh my god, there's so much allergies.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
I'll go with the butter.
I
No,
think
because
That is
wasabi has
the lie?
butter. Wasabi buds have butter.
no, we're
That's
looking for
definitely
the
true.
truth. We're looking for the truth in this one. So
You're looking for
Oh,
the
okay.
truth. You're looking for the truth. Okay.
All right. So the
Yeah, but
lactose intolerance sounds like a very Asian thing. So I feel like that's like because like relatable. I'm going for lactose intolerant because lactose intolerant gang. We love our cheese, but cheese doesn't like us back. So I'm going for that.
what's the other one?
There's allergic to gluten, allergic, lactose intolerant, and then butter.
Yeah, the fact that she's eating Spanish bread is already.
Yeah, and that
Butter?
she has buns in
Is
the name.
butter dairy?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, you would be intolerant to everything?
So if butter is
Mostly,
dairy, but butter isn't gluten, right? No, it's not.
No, it's not
'Cause it's
gluten.
keto.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Gluten's bread.
Yeah. So there was a clue. There's a Spanish loaf there. So like I'm thinking the gluten's a lie. The butter because it's Spanish loaf. And then but
Yeah.
lactose intolerant, it could be a truth because like even if you're lactose intolerant, you'd still eat things and it will hurt you, but there's some things worth shitting for, as the motto goes.
Wow.
Worth
That
the
is not a
pain.
motto I'm familiar with, but okay.
That's my motto. But yeah, mine's lactose intolerance. What did Phil pick? Butter is the truth. And what about
Yeah,
Jazzy?
butter.
Which one you picking?
Me, I think it's the gluten, because the other ones are like the same.
Okay.
I feel
alright.
like you eat like gluten-free bread or something. You're the type.
Oh my god.
You've been typecast.
Okay, so what is the truth?
All right, so I made a slight mistake on this one. I thought it was like two truths and one lie. So amazing listening comprehension skills. So the truth is I am lactose intolerant
Yeah.
and only slightly allergic to gluten.
Okay.
Oh, really? Okay.
Alright, so
Wait, but
Only slightly.
butter has lactose.
I know, but YOLO. This is really good Spanish
Damn.
bread.
yes.
So you were allergic to everything.
I'm not allergic to butter. Sorry, Jay.
Yay! Butter! Yay, Flogan can relate. Flogan,
I
all
feel
the
ya.
allergies. My den kid.
Flogan.
Hello, Flogan. Welcome.
Hey,
So thank you
Flogan, it's
for
been
the
a
lovely.
while. How are you?
Yeah, hope you're doing well, Flogan. Thank you for the introduction, Lance. Okay. Next, we're gonna go to the next youngest person. I don't want to do my introductions because this is like my streams. It's weird. So, since Jazzy declared that they're the eldest, the oldest of all of us, so that makes Jay not the oldest right now.
Wow, I'm
Yeah.
honored to be not the oldest in the stream for once.
Yay!
Yeah, so I'm Jay, despite the handle. And I've been playing TTRPG since 1997. So my college days. And yes, I'm a dad. Sorry, excuse me.
It never occurred to me that, why aren't you Phil?
Exactly, right? But a lot of people keep calling me Phil, but the name's
Yo,
Jay.
Philgamer.
Philippine gamer. Anyway, so genres that I run, I do horror, I do supers. I love sci-fi, but I've not really had a chance to run a decent sci-fi
Dude, please.
campaign.
Alien RPG. Come on, you can do it.
Yeah, last time around doing it turned into a K-pop house, which wasn't so bad. The only fantasy game I've actually played and run decently is Legend of the Five Rings. But those are my genres,
Ooh.
essentially. And for two lies and one truth, okay, my three statements are: 1, I worked in the baby diaper industry. 2, I ran into a burning warehouse full of waterproof matches once. And the last one is I sold a mortgage to somebody during an earthquake.
So, what was the last one?
I sold a mortgage to somebody during an earthquake.
Earthquakes are very common over there, right?
Oh, there's only one truth in all of this, but oh my god.
I feel like the last one's the truth. I feel like I could see that.
I feel like the diaper industry feels like some. But it's such a weird. Oh my god.
I have lived a colorful life, everyone.
Oh my god, that poker face though. I'm going for the baby diaper industry as the truth.
Okay. So, okay. In terms of this one, I worked in the baby diaper industry. Yes, it's actually true. I did work as a marketing executive in, I think it was for JS Unitrade, but basically for Pro Kids. It's no longer a brand that exists in baby diaper things here in the Philippines.
Okay.
But yeah, actually did.
Oh, so it's the baby diaper industry. Yeah, let's fucking go.
Actually, the other two are also true. They're all true.
Wow, we are bad at this thing.
well, at least we know more.
The whole running into a burning warehouse was actually true. I was working for a company that actually sold waterproof matches, and then their warehouse caught fire. So I had to run in with a pallet, with those pallet movers, to try and haul as many waterproof matches to get out of there because it was a fire. So,
my god.
Sounds like you went through like a D&D adventure, dude.
Wow.
And I did sell a mortgage during an earthquake. I was working for a call center. I was going through somebody's mortgage. Then we were hit by an earthquake, and he was wondering, like, what's all that screaming behind you? Oh, that's an earthquake going on. And they're like, why aren't you running for anything? And I'm like, sir, I'm on the 36th floor. If I go into an elevator, it won't help me. The only thing I can do now is sell you your mortgage and pray they dig me up first. So.
Oh no! Oh, that's a good sale though. That's a good persuasion.
Yeah, so we bought it. So it's not.
He ran into a burning warehouse of matches for the company he works for. So if we learned anything today, Jay is a great employee.
Yeah.
I'm a fantastic employee.
10/10.
Awesome. Okay, and
You're
then
telling me that I should hire you. Alright, I'm writing your name
You
down.
can afford my rates, sure.
Oh yeah, the rates.
Oh damn.
Yes. Okay, last but not least, we'll go with Jazzy's intro. Thank you, Jay, for letting us know about your colorful resume. Right?
Well, Bassy the Jazzy Bardista. I'm a D&D theme VTuber from the world of Averon. I actually, by Bardista, I mean Bard and Barista. I do music and coffee. And yeah, what I do here is I host a place where I can talk about a lot of nerdy stuff, not just TTRPG related things, also stories, novels, Magic the Gathering, and TV shows, and etc. While also having some time to do some jazz jams for people to relax to, and maybe have a treat while discussing their adventures. Yeah. Hop on by the Expeditious Retreat if you're interested in that.
Exactly. Yeah, they really have they have a really cool coffee setup, and they have a cool cafe. If you guys want to check out their channel, really cool stuff.
Let me shout myself out.
Yeah, let's go. But yeah, Jazzy, real quick, how long have you been if you've been jamming? How long have you been jamming? How long have you been playing, and what's a
jamming
favorite?
or GMing?
Jamming, GMing, both count. And yeah, go ahead.
I've been. So here's the thing. Here's the special thing about me. I've been mostly doing RPG multimedia. I started on video games. I started on like Dungeon Crawlers, Pool of Radiance, and Eye of the Beholder. I started with that stuff. So it's kind of murky as to when I started GMing. I can't remember, but it's actually pretty recent, like at least 5 years ago. But for the most part, I did grow up in like D&D video games. So that's my sphere.
Nice. Lots of exposure to D&D material. Well, it's still cool. I heard the video games are really cool. And since you mentioned that you focus a lot of nerdy content stuff, like TTRPG adjacent. So go with your 2 lies and 1 truth.
Well, I was gonna talk about the. I was about to talk about like what stuff I enjoy, but okay.
Sorry.
I'll flip it around. I'll go with this one first, and then the other one. Okay. So here's my 2 lies and 1 truth. I've run from the police before. I performed in a red light district. And hold up. I've fallen off a bridge.
I'm gonna go with run from the police because I feel like that's something all of us have done.
Oh.
At one point already.
Yep. At one point.
That's a good call.
I'm going for performed in a red light district.
Ooh.
That's the truth.
Yeah, that's Jace sniffing out of truth, and I'll
actually I realized I gave 2 truths, guys.
Wait, Jay went with 3 truths. So
which one's false?
I guess the false. No, I mean for your thing, I think we can go for the false one. Would probably be falling off the bridge. I feel like you have a better dex than you give yourself credit for. So I don't think you'd fall off the bridge.
I see. Alright, what about everyone else? What's your false one?
False one. Yeah, the bridge.
The bridge?
The bridge is false.
Oh, you guys have a lot of trust in me. Damn.
We have a lot of faith in you that you're as crazy as everyone is.
Yeah, and elves have good decks.
Well, here's the thing. Wow, okay. Racially profiling me? I see, okay. Damn. Anyways. No, I actually did. I don't want to say fall off a bridge. I jumped over to another bridge, and I happened to, use a featherfall token, But it was while running away from the police, so... Yeah, the lie is that I performed in a red light district. I technically have performed in the streets, but I did grow up there, but I didn't actually perform there.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
That
was an interesting turn of events.
That's fun.
I'm so sorry.
Now the crazy part would be if I jump off a bridge while running from the police after performing in a red light district and messing something up.
Yeah.
Can I interrupt slightly?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Is it okay? I would like to greet my sister happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
She went on Twitch, so she could see me this morning. And
that's so awesome.
I don't think she even has a Twitch account, so happy birthday, Vince.
Happy birthday!
Alright, back to our regular programming.
Yes. Yeah. Shoutouts to all the birthday celebrants today. Well, yes. I guess the one thing that we skipped over, I'm so sorry, because I thought you covered it in your intro when you were talking about the TTRPG adjacent stuff. Like, what's your favorite thing in the sector of the TTRPG scene? I think that's the one you were trying to answer. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I think so I spend most time in the D&D sphere, shock, but that's more publicly because I get to talk about it. But on my own time, I actually enjoy a lot of Powered by the Apocalypse stuff, as well as it has a lot of like negativity because of some stuff and the community, but I do enjoy some like old school Renaissance stuff, but only because of the hex scrolling aspect of it that I enjoy. But yeah, I mostly story games like Fate and Powered by the Apocalypse. But unfortunately, I don't get to talk about them as much.
Oh, hopefully next year you get to talk about it more, and try out more Powered by the Apocalypse stuff. Yeah, Apocalypse Keys, try it. If you're into Hellboy.
I will.
All the plugs. All right. Last, I'm gonna do a really quick intro because I really wanted to. I'm so excited for everyone's top nines. So, I mean, everybody, like, you guys are here at my channel, so it's a Dead Mother Plays. So, I've been a player since 2015. Started Pathfinder First Edition. I would explore more systems. I just didn't start with the I guess Pathfinder kind of is like D&D because like we kind of tried 3.5, but initially my first system was Pathfinder. I've been GMing shortly after that. I just tried make it a point to try different TTRPGs. Favorite genre, horror gang, and sci-fi. I'm a sucker for sci-fi. If I could put sci-fi and horror together, yes, that is my niche. I like that. But sci-fi is definitely like the thing that will attract me the most. Like more like dystopian, futuristic stuff.
I'm stupid, by the way. You meant like story genres.
Yeah, the TTRPG genres. Yeah. So
my bad.
And then for the aspect of the TTRPG scene that I like the most, I've tried everything from community management, event sorting. Those are not my favorites, unfortunately, but it's an experience. The thing that I like the most actually is the game design. I fell in love with it when I got into Session Zero Con. Shout out to that event. I started like I got thrusted into the game design scene, figuring out how publishers work, how to create your own module, your scenarios. My first Call of Cthulhu scenario, my first ever written scenario was from that event. So really love that, and I just got addicted to creating because I like the planning, the timelines, and like just being able to produce a really fun like artistic product for people to try out the stories through that medium. So the writing scene is definitely something I'm attracted to. Two truths, two lies, one truth. First one is it's 3 statements. It's gonna be tough. Like I had something in my head, but then okay. I like Marvel.
Bro, you were the one that suggested this
yeah,
one.
I know. I like Marvel.
Bro.
I really like Marvel. And like Marvel Cinematic Universe is like up there in terms of my favorite fandoms. That's the first statement. The second statement is I actually like a lot of cream on my coffee. And then
I felt that on my heart.
I like so much cream, like the ratio of cream. And then the next one is I am a I like playing lawful good characters. So which one?
It's the last one because you didn't elaborate or giggle about it.
I like lawful good characters. I like playing them.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah, I suspect the last one is the lie.
No.
The last one is probably the lie for me.
I'm really gonna say that
that's
the lie is
you
you putting cream in coffee. I don't believe it. I can't accept it.
It's like no.
I wish
Why?
I couldn't accept it, but I can almost see it.
Okay, so which one's the truth for you guys? So truth for Jazzy is cream. What else is? Wait, sorry. Two lies, one truth. Which one's the truth? So
Okay.
It's
I'm going with the
the
coffee.
first one.
The coffee's the
I'll
truth
go with
for
coffee.
you. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. I changed it and I made it worse.
So everybody went for coffee as the truth.
Yeah.
That's actually a fucking lie. I hate cream on my.
I told you it was a lie.
I like
said
my-
it
I am
was a lie.
so relieved.
I like
am
my
so
coffee black.
relieved.
As black
Yeah,
as my
I
soul.
would have had to leave your stream
Oh.
if you like your coffee with a lot of cream.
No. I like my coffee black as my soul. I like brewed black coffee.
I knew it.
and putting sugar.
Okay,
That's the
as
lie.
a barista, I gotta ask, do you mean like, like pour over, drip coffee?
Drip
That's
coffee.
what we're talking about, right?
The drip coffee.
Okay. But like if it's like an espresso drink, like is it the
Double
same
shot.
way there? Like can you only have Americano or shots or
like shots. I actually like a lot of cafe people kind of look at me weird when I do order like it dark, because it's like, are you okay?
Oh, that's valid. It's valid.
they look like, are you okay? I'm like, I want this. I want to stay away. Like I need this. So the other lie is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm not really a fan. I'm more of a DC person. So yeah, I also am lactose intolerant, but I don't like cream. The cream ruins the coffee for me. So
so you like
Yeah.
like lawful good characters.
I do like lawful good characters. I like them so much. It's funny though, because most of the characters I play are morally gray, but usually
Yeah.
when I play like characters, I try to make like a lot of people actually, the people here know that I play gray characters, but I really like playing lawful good. It's just that most of the campaigns I am in, the moment I put a lawful good character, they're not gonna survive. I just know it, so I'm very
You can
protective.
perfectly survive mage with a
Literally,
lawful
like-
character. What are you talking about?
No,
We have a
this-
campaign like you were in a game with me where it's like literally you're all billions, you're all monsters.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah, I played a very very precious undead bear, but I just know that I love lawful good characters so much that it makes it really hard for me to put it in it, because I know they're not going to survive, so that they're usually taking the backseat. Like I will play with you guys one day in a proper scenario, in a proper setting, but
This is because you don't play L5R. You should join L5R.
yeah, if
Then
I
you play your lawful good
L5R,
character
yeah.
there.
Yeah, I'm gonna play my Shugenja, Void Shugenja there. But anyways, that's
All right.
that's where it is. So now we've all gotten to know each other. Now we're gonna go for of course the main event, the top nines. We get to show
Yeah.
our lovely grids.
Before that, I also gotta mention my pronouns are they them.
Yes.
I forgot to mention that.
Oh, okay.
It's a they them. Oh, cool. And I remember we talked about a color scheme once. There was like a character that you
Wait,
made
what
that.
are you talking?
No, sorry. I was thinking about someone else. Doc is also they them. Sorry, because like they made a color scheme in
Oh,
their
are we talking
avatar that
about
was
the-
Dr. Rocketface, one of my
Like the
oldest
flag?
friends. Yeah, their color scheme is the NB, so it's really cool.
Yeah, I've thought about like doing like nail polish without those colors.
Yeah, they're really complimentary. So yeah,
All
we're
right,
loading
let's go,
up
let's
now.
go.
So we're gonna go through everybody's grids. I still don't have Jazzy's plates. Send it, please. But
You
just
know-
send
Not to be surprised and going last anyways.
You know what I'm doing?
Okay,
You know
okay,
what I'm doing?
Yes. Okay. You can set it later since the way we're gonna go this time. So we went for like the youngest, air quote, youngest. Now we're going for the most the first one that's gonna present their lovely grid is the one that ran the GM that ran the most recent game, and we've established that the most recent one was Jay, because he was running a play-by-post last night. And then followed
pretty much.
by Lance, who ran a 5e game for kids December 16, and then I ran a cyberpunk game around the second weekend. So we're gonna start first with Jay's grid.
Okay.
I'm gonna show it. We're gonna it's loading. Oh. There you go. Got a grid.
Is it up? Okay.
Yes.
Good. Okay, so so my top 9. Actually, I didn't quite follow the assignment for this one since I didn't run enough games or buy enough games to fill in 9 slots. So, I figured I might as well talk about the 9 things that actually stood out for me in 2022. So we start off with the starter set resurgence. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but a lot of publishers have been coming out with starter boxes, starter sets these days. And I think that's
like
it's a great
Pathfinder.
move for the industry. I mean, Pathfinder beginner boxes. We have the new Call of Cthulhu starter box, Fallout, Warhammer Fantasy, Age of Sigmar Soulbound. All of these have like phenomenal starter boxes, and I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Especially
Alien.
for here. Yeah, Alien, definitely. We're getting a good entry level product that can really appeal to people to get started to sit down and play.
Also, it looks really good in a show.
Exactly. It looks great on the shelf. It's not that expensive, and you can actually use it in conventions, and it stands out. Because most of the time when you're in a convention or you're like trying to get people to try the hobby, what happens is that they see a giant book and the expectation is like, oh, I have to like read all of this just to figure it out. So
greeting?
instead they have like
gross.
Exactly. So if you have a fancy box, fancy dice, very colorful character sheets and everything that you can just deploy, this is great. And honestly, it's also a good means to test a system. Since I do a lot of professional, GMing, I run paid games, and I also review games on my blog. Starter sets are a great way to basically get a sense of the entire feel of the system and how it runs and how it plays, without sinking a significant investment in new games right off the bat.
Nice.
Yay.
Yeah, I've actually run. I've played a starter set this year. I also have one on my list. I was worried about overlapping.
Ah, that's fine. I mean, we can go into details on which box you bought and ran.
I gotta ask, which one's your favorite though between those starter sets?
Production value and usefulness, I would go with the Age of Sigmar Soulbound one. The dice,
I'm writing that down.
The gatefold character sheets. The inside of the box lid is a map that you can also use as a dice tray. It's very well thought out. And along with the usual scenario that comes with it, there's actually a setting booklet that has plot hooks that you can use to run a short campaign right out of that box, outside of the usual module that comes with it. So it's actually great in terms of value for money.
Nice.
All right.
Soulbound.
I am linking it over here.
Really good shit.
Yeah, look for it. Soulbound is really good.
Tree Gang.
At the same time, I mean, anything that seems to have come out of Cubicle 7 is actually really good. Even the Warhammer Fantasy beginner boxes is the same, like super good value for money.
Aren't they the ones that did the Legend? The Lord of the Rings, like One Ring RPG.
One Ring RPG currently is with Free League.
Oh yeah, I know that they're now with Open League, right? But I mean the old one.
The old one, yes, they used to be with them.
Licensing.
It's good to see that they're still doing stuff.
Yeah, it's good that the licensing thing has sort of moved stuff around, but Cubicle 7 seems to be enjoying a resurgence because they're holding Doctor Who, Warhammer 40k, Warhammer Fantasy, and Soulbound, and they're coming out with like 2 new games of their own.
Nice. All right.
Good pick.
Starter sets. Let's go.
Yeah, moving on to the next one. Adventures in Rokugan. I'm gonna get a lot of flack out of this one. So basically, Adventures in Rokugan was interesting to me. 2022. Edge Studios had to come up with any product, using the license for the setting. They had Legend of the Five Rings. The new card game died. The 5th edition of the RPG got transitioned to them thanks to Fantasy Flight Games going, we no longer do RPGs. Toss it off to Edge Studio.
Can you talk about what Legends of the Five Rings is for those unfamiliar with it?
Oh, okay. Legend of the Five Rings is essentially fantasy feudal Japan, essentially. So it's one of the few RPGs which has a very well fleshed out setting that's over 20 years old at this point. Very, very good setting, very, very good world building. But it's also changed hands several times from its original makers of AEG, which now focuses on board games, to Fantasy Flight Games. which has now decided to focus on board games, and are now currently with Edge Studio. So Edge Studio basically took the setting for Legend of the Five Rings, the aforementioned Rokugan, and they remixed it and then basically built a D&D 5e compatible version in a way that
I see
honors
where
both.
the flag comes from now.
Exactly. So essentially, you have a really well thought out setting with its own system originally that gets remixed into a 5e version that doesn't feel like the old what do you call this?
Ooh,
Open source
has
license.
A source.
Yeah. So
Look at that.
Super fan.
So what happens to it is, now you have the benefits of having a really well thought out setting, and then a genuine effort to make a system work for it, rather than just slap on the D20 mechanics and then call it a day, which is usually the case for a lot of these,
So it feels more like its own
translations.
thing rather than
Yes.
just
In fact,
D&D with a different
it
skin.
was actually in the introduction. Yes, it was in the introduction of the book that, look, this isn't Legend of the Five Rings. If you want to play it that way, get Legend of the Five Rings, which is still in the print. But Adventures in Rokugan is more for mythic and heroic fantasy that's closer towards the 5e experience. So, it was a good way to pull it off. And honestly, I'm just happy that Rokugan is still alive in some shape or form, because it's one of my favorite settings.
That's fun. My only experience with that is actually the card game. I heard stories about it, and I guess this kind of like incentivizes me to like, yo, I should check it out someday because it's still alive. I thought it was dead for the longest time.
No, it was. It is dead. Actually, it is dead.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you can get it for cheap. So,
No.
so yeah, unfortunate.
Wow,
Okay,
we
moving
leave
on.
off with a shitty note.
Yeah, unfortunately, but a moment of silence for the L5R card game. That was really, really
They will
good in
be
terms of
missed.
production, but at least it makes for good character art.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up we have shout outs to Modifius, Free League, and Cubicle 7, who are the stewards of licensed IPs and doing them justice. So Free League has Alien and Blade Runner. You have Modifius doing Dune and Fallout and Homeworld, and Cubicle 7 doing Warhammer 40k, Age of Sigmar, Warhammer Fantasy. Modifius also did Conan Infinity, if you're familiar with the miniatures game from Spain, I think. And they also did Dishonored.
There's a
and John
Dishonored
Carter Farms.
TTRPG. What?
Yeah,
Ooh.
you didn't know?
What? Oh my god!
I have a copy. I'll show you one time. Anyway,
my god! I heard something. That track.
no, I mean, honestly, this okay. I'm gonna show my age here. This reminds me of my youth. In the 80s, there was a lot of licensed RPGs. There was a James Bond RPG. There was the Indiana Jones RPG. Not all of them were great, but
I tried
that
the
we're hitting
Street
a
Fighter
point.
one. It's so bad.
Street
I
Fighter.
heard
For the guys
interesting
that
things
made,
about that. I
for
want
the
to
guys
try
that
it.
made World of Darkness, it was so
So
bad. It was
Deuce
good
Jack.
again. It's amazing. One of the character
Love
options
it.
for that one was Spanish Ninja, and that says everything. Anyway,
Yeah,
but the fact
but
that
just
we
like
have
Vega.
licenses, yeah, exactly, like Vega, exactly. So since you now have all these licenses opening up, I mean, we're seeing it. We have the Dragon Prince, we have various other IPs getting their own RPGs, and with the way that D&D is opening things up as well, it's a sign of a healthy industry, essentially.
By the way, this
and
was the one on the
that's more
left,
open.
right? On
It's-
your 3x3.
It's
Yeah, I
the
think I
left
think I
one.
moved somewhere.
I'm
The left.
sorry.
Okay.
It's okay. There's a lot of overlap between them because I've been mentioning these guys a lot. But yeah, so honestly, the idea that they're licensed games is great because that means we can get people who are interested in the license but not necessarily gaming get to try it out through the starter sets. See, it's all connected.
Yeah.
And
Like,
gateway essentially. So it's opening the gateway beyond just D&D, even if D&D is still a very, very big gateway. It's
that's what I felt with Avatar Legends for a lot of people.
Mhm. Yeah, Avatar, right? There's another one.
Yeah, that one just came out.
Except I think the initial feedback for that one is like, oh yeah, there's an Avatar game, but you can't play the Avatar. So
I mean, I feel like that's fine.
Yeah, to some people that's fine, but it's kind of
crazy.
like, you know, you could probably name it after something, right? But not necessarily the Avatar RPG. We can't play the Avatar. But anyway, we're getting sidetracked. Moving on. What else do we have here? We have upper right. The old but gold guys. Yeah, so upper right we have Chaosium and Mongoose Games. These guys, you know, from RuneQuest to Traveler to Pendragon, Call of Cthulhu, classic settings and systems that can still deliver solid gaming without having to go light. I mean, I know that the whole narrative, Powered by the Apocalypse, and all these other systems are, you know, have their day in the sun. But it doesn't mean that having an old, complicated system is a bad thing. And these guys are around for a reason. You know, you have 7 editions worth of Call of Cthulhu already, and that in itself is amazing. And the kind of fun that these systems deliver is very different in that you're encouraged to engage with the rules, and the way that they're complicated isn't the same way that D&D is complicated, which I can get to probably in a different stream, because that will be a very long discussion and I will need coffee for that one. Okay.
No worries. I got coffee on the ready.
Moving on to what else? We have The Witcher RPG down there. Okay, so for that one, actually, that is a bit of a call out to Artel Sorian Games. Congratulations on their signing up with CD Projekt Red, which resulted in 2 things. Basically, it's actually a Dragon Ball fusion of these 2 companies that resulted with Cyberpunk getting its resurgence, both in terms of an IP that you see on video games and now anime with Edge Runners. And The Witcher tabletop RPG, which actually really gave an opportunity to bring the Witcher setting to a lot of people, which were really waiting for that opportunity. I don't know if you guys have ever played Cyberpunk. Which one? Cyberpunk?
I ran it. I ran it recently.
I've seen
good.
I've seen you all play Cyberpunk. It's the hot cow. But what about Witcher though?
The Witcher RPG is not bad. It's the mechanics are a little on the 90s, as in I can literally feel the age of the mechanics on it. But it's still pretty good. I had a few friends which were trying it out for a one shot, and the funny thing about it though is that it kind of does reward this whole let's forage in the forest for parts so we can do alchemy. Which took up a surprising amount of time in the one shot. Like, are we really digging up mushrooms? But okay, if that's what it needs, that's what we need to break into this, you know, enemy camp. Then let's do it.
Mushrooms.
Actually, both of them have. I just need to talk about this because this is a free thing that anyone in chat can get. Both of them got easy modes that you can download to read a basic version of the rules for free, and it's actually very thorough and a very quick way of getting into the books without all the lordoms from Cyberpunk lore.
Yes. Yeah. The lore is fun.
Yeah.
And I'm actually quite happy about the fact that they're coming out with a starter set based off Edge Runners. So there's that.
Yeah! Oh my god! So much hype.
I'm excited.
So much hype.
They're very good at making use of whatever IPs they have. So honestly, it's amazing. Next up is the middle square where we have the Philippine flag.
Let's go!
Pinoy Pride! Represent.
Pinoy Pride!
You know, Arc Doom, Islands of Sinauna, Karandun, Gubat Banwa. All of these guys are making a mark on the industry. You can find most of them on itch. Arc Doom has printed copies already. So is Islands of Sinauna. And that's not even taking into account the work of various adventures in the, you know, creator content space like Dungeons Masters Guild or Storytellers Vault. Like certain people here which have written adventures already. I haven't done it yet. It's not on my I don't know if I'll have the time for it, but we'll see.
One day. I mean, you've done okay. Shameless plug. You've actually written a TTRPG called Kick-Ass, right? You've actually created that.
I have one.
So you've done some writing. A badass, sorry.
I've done some writing, but not under the Dungeon Masters Guild or Storytellers Vault. Also, the game I made was free, so I haven't been earning from it. Okay. Next up is down on the lower left, something a bit of a hot topic. Chaosium taking a stand against AI art. A bit late in this year, but definitely worth mentioning. There's still a lot of discussion that needs to be done around AI art, mostly from sourcing the training images that are used for AI. But the fact that Chaosium put out a very public and very, very thorough statement about their support for human artists and the work of human artists is incredibly commendable. And there at the bottom, the obscure Kickstarter that came out, Two Little Mice is the name of the gaming company. And they came out with the Household RPG. It was very, very wonderful and imaginative setting. It's apparently big in Italy, I think. Where they're essentially making a new version in English. And you play little fey creatures that are essentially living in the abandoned mansion of the master, and the whole setting happens with like, now that the master has left and hasn't come back for years, you guys have sort of taken over the mansion, and now it's entirely fully realized RPG world where each of the rooms is like a massive realm. And it's really, really nice. And you're tiny, so you ride like mice and snails or stuff. It's very, very cute.
That's so
and
cute.
very, very well done. I am still eager to buy their products. I regret having to cancel my Kickstarter pledge to it due to budgetary concerns. But the point is, it's okay because the Kickstarter pledge I ended up backing had like miniatures, and as much as I would have wanted quote unquote full size versions of your characters, the shipping would have killed me. So I would rather have not. So that's why I pulled the plug on that one.
That's okay. That's really funny. The fact that it's full size.
Yeah, the miniatures are full size. This is exactly how tall your character is. And last one is that one on the lower right. A little bit on 2022's missed opportunities. So superhero gaming, one of my favorites, has yet to come back. There is a Marvel Universe playtest rulebook that was released and sold, apparently, somehow. But I haven't heard anything about that.
I've heard about
right?
it.
I mean, they sold it, but there's been no real feedback after that. Then
they showed the mechanics on Twitter.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. It's just that it didn't quite catch my attention. But then again, I'm big on like much more complicated superhero rules. Then there's giant robot gaming. You have Lancer, but that's it so far. So I'm waiting for the next big thing on both fronts. But yeah, so that's
superhero.
Oh, Lancer.
No, Lancer's more for mecha. So it's two things:
I know that
superheroes
it's
and
a
mecha.
mech thing, but
Yeah.
like, would you count that as superhero gaming though?
I don't know. Depends. I guess Lancer is kind of straddling both. I mean, you have a lot of bean counting in Lancer for their mechs, but you can also do all sorts of weird things with them. So I don't know. I don't think they'd fall under the real robot designation if you're familiar with the whole real versus super robot split in anime. But yeah, so I'm waiting to see if the future will have anything for those two. But in the meantime, I will be saving money because I'm expecting to pick up a couple of other games in the future. But that's not part of this grid for now. And that's it for me for 2022.
Yay! Cool. Thank you for that. Thank you for that lovely first top 9.
Sorry, but it's a bit long.
Yeah. We do have a clap sound added to the channel for you guys. Want to do the clap sound? Clap. The clap sound.
Oh, clap.
Yeah, the audience. If so, there would be actual sounds of somebody applauding. So, yay!
We can do that.
Yeah. We got a clap.
Cheers.
Yeah, it's like a woo. Okay, so next, going going through the list of like the recents. I think the next one would be.
Not.
They're not. So the next one we got is Lance. They ran on December 16th. Yes, because the most recent game. So there was Jay. Now it's you. I think mine falls on December 10th. So you go first. All right, let me go do the loading screen real quick. Let me load it real quick. Loading.
Let me at it.
All right.
Gotta.
Loading, and we got your grid.
We need a solid state drive.
Yes. There you go. Got your grid.
Waiting for it to show up on Twitch because I can't see it like myself. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I think the first one there is Achtung Cthulhu, which I have right here next to me. Ta-da!
Yay! Show and tell.
Yay! Show and tell. So Achtung Cthulhu, I got this description straight from their website. Basically, it says, "Welcome to the secret war in this fast-paced, pulp-influenced roller coaster of an RPG, which nimbly mixes the sanity-challenging terror of Lovecraftian cosmic horror with the chaos and heroism of World War II." So basically, this TRPG combines many things that I love. War. No, I don't love war.
Damn.
What do you call this?
Damn.
How do I say this without getting
tactical strategies?
It's too late. Just go through it.
Tactical strategy, historical military stuff. I love that kind of thing. And of course, Cthulhu, yay!
Yeah,
Yay.
so much Cthulhu.
It mixes those two, and I just love because I like getting into military history stuff, so I love applying it here. But then I've got that leeway of Cthulhu, so any weird stuff I just throw at it. And the thing about it is that one of my favorite Disney movies of all time is Atlantis, and in Achtung Cthulhu,
Nice taste.
they actually explore like the Germans getting to Atlantis, getting that technology crystal and using it against people. So it's very pulpy. It's campy, but in the way that I love the most. This is the 2D20 system. Now, a lot of people don't really like the 2D20 system. I have a difficult time running it with a 2D20 system just because it's a bit fiddly for me. But
I am.
Yeah.
I'm curious about that because when I heard about Cthulhu, I had no idea that it was a 2D20 thing. I thought it was a Savage Worlds and Call of Cthulhu thing.
That's because the early edition was.
Oh,
I see.
So they went through like 3 different systems? That's crazy.
Yep. And the thing about this, the 2D20 system also makes uses of momentum and threat, which basically lets you really up the ante when it comes to your games. Your players might try buying a lot of threats at the beginning of the game, and then by the end of the game, you're just, throwing the threats out there and making it crazier and crazier. I had the pleasure of playing this game under Jay with grandmother.
Yes,
and,
it was so
there was
fun.
a lot of explosions. There was a lot of punching and kicking, and I love that crap. So
Yes.
I have gone on too long with that. My next one is actually
more dynamite.
exactly.
Before that,
Exactly. Your
would
machine
you recommend the
guns
2D20
and whatnot.
version more?
I'm bad at it, but it's a really good system. If you like studying new systems, which I don't, go ahead, give it a try because it
that's
was
my thing.
really. Yep, that's Jay's.
I know
thing.
Savage Worlds.
I see. I actually use Pulp Cthulhu for it, which I will discuss at the end of at the very last square. So yeah, that is Achtung Cthulhu. The next thing that I have been running unwittingly for quite some time is apparently Pendragon.
Yeah.
Now Pendragon was a spur of the moment thing for me because again, I don't like studying new systems, but I got so into it that I picked up the book, I picked up the new system, blah blah blah, and here we are. And I ended up running it for half a year. And might be getting back to it soon. Pendragon is by Kyoshim. I have it here. Let me read their description. Relive the grandeur, romance, and adventure of the greatest of all legends, the story of King Arthur. Assume the role of a knight starting his career at the time of Uther Pendragon, undertaking quests and perilous adventures for your lord, your lady love, for the church, or for your own glory. They are actually coming out, I think, or they've come out with a 6th edition. I know it's out, or maybe it's coming out somewhere
It's
there.
coming out. I think the quick start already came out, so we're just waiting for the core book. Yeah.
Which I'm looking forward to because the original, well, the older version, the 5th edition that I'm running, doesn't have a lot of rules for female knights, and I think that's one of the things that they actually decided to focus on there. And I'm excited to see if they are coming up with a magic system because, again, as it said, most players play knights, but how can you discount players who want to be Merlin or Nimue or Morgan Le Fay, right? So
witches.
Exactly. So I think they're coming out with that. Pretty excited. I love the system because it's really simple. It's I have my notes here. Haha. It's basic role playing system, which is you know, used by a lot of Kyoshim games, but with a D20. So basically, it's just smaller chances with a D20.
It's been fun. You ran a really good campaign. We're still hoping
thank
for
you.
Nilo, Team Nilo. It's gonna happen.
We will go back to it. And the fun thing about it is that what really attracted me to Pendragon the first time I played it was once again war. we just go back to
There's
that.
a theme.
There's
Mass
a common
battles.
theme.
It's okay.
I love mass battles and the adrenaline running through you as a player and as a GM when you imagine the horses running to battle, the lances, the jousts, the swords.
Is that the gameplay like in Pendragon? Like, horseback and like war and stuff like
Yes, tactical. Very
My
tactical.
favorite is the mass battle system where if you fall off your horse, you have to make a lot of rolls to figure out where you are, and it tries to evoke
panic.
that feeling. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Of getting confused because you don't have a top-down view of battle when you're there.
No.
I've been told. I've never been to battle. What do you call this? So you're there, you're confused, you're trying to find the banner of your lord so you know where to rally to. I see somebody in the chat asking for a war game. I am getting into war board games this year.
Nice.
But that's for another part.
Warhammer 40k?
One thing I want to mention about Pendragon is like in 5e, you're excited about a natural 20. In Pendragon, you're terrified of a natural 20.
That actually took a lot of time for me to get out of my system coming from D&D.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, it's a 20. Wait, no, that's a critical fail. Oh,
Yep.
crap.
Oh, you roll on there?
Poor Sir Logan.
Yeah.
The amount of natural 20s in his I don't know how he's still alive.
I think Dice Maiden really hated us
Hated-
when we played
Yeah,
that game. There was a ton of nat 20s.
Yeah. Rule of thumb, don't test the dice mate. I was like, yeah, you want to fuck me up? And then consecutive nat 20s. I was like, I was kidding.
Oh my god. I remember, Den Mother, I remember you kept taunting the dice gods.
I know.
They gave it to you. Oh my god.
Don't taunt the dice gods. I learned that lesson the hard way with my character. They almost died. Woo,
Okay.
Okay.
Some odd trivia with regards to Pendragon, by the way, is that the original writer of Legend of the Five Rings setting and RPG is a massive fan of Pendragon.
Oh.
So
Yes,
if you
exactly.
can actually draw a straight line from Pendragon to Legend of the Five Rings because it's almost Arthurian in terms of their portrayal of the face, so
It's all connected.
it gets there.
Yeah, exactly. When I want to play samurais, I go to L5R. When I want to be a knight, I just go to Pendragon. They literally even have passions that you can call on and sort of an unmasking mechanic that is also present in L5R. So yeah, try it
Passions.
out. You'll love it.
Definitely.
Mix them together.
Really good shit.
Okay, So the next game that I have, I didn't get to run, but I got to play, and it is Alas for the Awful Sea, and that name is just stunning to my ears. It's so dramatic. I love it. And basically, Alas for the Awful Sea explores the bitter dilemmas facing starving towns torn apart by crime and loss. And to tell this story, it delves into the fantastical, weaving a lot of folktale elements that mirror beliefs and struggles of the towns. And the town is basically sort of based on, I want to say the UK parts area. And it's such a beautiful game. You're on a ship. You're dealing with the merciless sea. I guess this also harkens back to my love for Cthulhu, water, tentacles, and crap like that. But here you get cell keys. You get to build a really beautiful, dramatic story, and horror doesn't really have to be a part of it. So, see, I told you I'm branching out here.
Is this a journaling RPG, like the one about the vampire, the 1,000-year-old vampire?
Oh, I have not. I'm not familiar with that one, so I don't know.
That's actually good. That's actually a good one. 1,000-year vampire.
I will have to check that out.
For solo RPGs.
Anyway, Alas for the Awful Sea is PBTA.
Oh. It's PBTA.
So you might want to check that out. Yeah, it's powered by the apocalypse.
Hell yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. You get to play the captain. One thing I enjoy there is it has some sort of truth. I forgot what it's called. Basically, it's one truth about your character that gives you leverage over other things. I remember I was the first mate, and my truth was that I leave no man behind, and that was fun because it's death is surrounding you guys, and I just can't afford to let that happen. Very dramatic, very heartfelt. Love it. So that was fun.
Oh my god, adding that to the PBTA list.
A lot of pressure in the role that you're gonna feel as your mates die.
Exactly. Another new game that I did not think I'd be able to try is Black Monk. Using the Praxis system. Now, the interesting thing about this is the Praxis system is a GM-less system. So finally, the GM gets to play with the players!
I love solo RPGs. Hell yeah.
So, okay, let me read to you what they say here. In the Black Monk, the characters are people living in a desolate but vibrant world where time seems to have lost meaning. Living for decades, perhaps longer, in isolation from others, the people of Elysia toil and work, only to be visited once a year by the Black Monk. What I like about this is that because it's so vague, you can mold the world to what you want. All it gives you is the name of the town, Elysia. And it gives you a few NPCs, but you can basically come up with your own. The interesting thing about this was that as much as I enjoyed it, it was the hardest game for me to play. I was on the player side here. Because the game forces you to come up with things on the fly, and I was so bad at it. Basically, it gives you prompts that you weave into your story, and other people try to weave into it as well. So it was a lot of improv. I'm bad at it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does it have like random tables to like help out with that?
Yeah.
Yes, it does. It does.
Oh, that's good.
Den Mother, was I playing with you in this one?
Yes, we were together. I was the doctor. I was the doctor who hacked someone's hand. This is so sudden. So.
Well, the funny thing about this one was that the story starts off one direction, but because everybody's in charge, it goes weird twists, and by the end of it, it's kind of convoluted, but still very fun.
Yeah. I would say in the terms of just as a commentary for somebody who does TTRPG content streams, this is definitely one of those systems that I feel like because like there's not much dice because it's just cards, and there's a lot of input for storytelling or narrative specific streamers or the ones who like to talk a lot, and they're into the directive, like just putting out stories and just give and take. The mechanics make it so fun for improv that it would really be good on content streams. Like I feel like there should be more systems like this that are streamed compared to like, cause when people come in, they actually see how the story progresses without getting too lost. Because like there's a lot of input. There's a lot more dynamics in terms of the storytelling. I feel like there should be more streams like this. That's my thoughts.
It was so hard for me. Like it was so hard.
Yeah, the on the spot thinking.
I can't do it. When I run my games, I have notebooks and notebooks of notes. But it is fun. I would still play it. So, yeah, those are some of the new games that I have played this year. By the way, Alas for the Awful Sea, Black Monk, they were all run by Toby Abad with me and Denma.
Yay! Really cool.
Alright, so
that's his ability. He's really good at that, yeah.
The middle is kind of small. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I have it for show and tell.
Yay!
Ta-da!
Marvelous.
So, horror
on the Orient
on
Express.
the Orient Express. So this is not a new tabletop role-playing game. It's not a new system. This is a Call of Cthulhu system. The Horror on the Orient Express is one of their classic world travel globe-trotting campaigns, just like Masks of Nyarlathotep. But I love this in particular because it's old-timey Europe, and again, we're going back to wars. Although this starts in 1923, so it's in between wars. So, Horror on the Orient Express is very interesting because how do I say this without spoiling anything? First of all, if you buy this as a GM, yep, it is a mystery wherein the players are going all over Europe trying to collect different pieces of something. The fun thing about this is that when I bought it, I realized that it was so worth the money because if I remove all the side stories and just focus on the main story, I have one campaign. And if I run all the side stories, that's another campaign and a lot of standalones that you can run on your own. Plus, they even have notes on running it in modern day settings. So that's very interesting.
Oh.
So it's like an anthology.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
It's one of the best things that
it's a lot.
Has.
They even have a whole section of NPCs here that you can just put on the train and toss at people. So it cuts out a lot of the GM work. It actually directly connects to the campaign below it, which is Reign of Terror. Ta-da! Yay!
Also,
these are my favorite games to run. Reign of Terror is very interesting. Spoilers coming up, so don't listen if you don't want to know. But the thing is, basically, it's a prequel to Horror on the Orient Express. So, the best part about these two is that I ran Reign of Terror for my players 4 years ago. And then when I finally got Horror on the Orient Express, I managed to take their memories as players from Reign of Terror and involve it as, past life memories in Horror on the Orient Express. And it was a long con, it was a long game, but it was so satisfying.
Yeah, that's gotta pay off. That really, really works.
4 years in the making. Yeah, exactly. And the fun thing about that was that 4 years, they've forgotten parts of it, so it made sense that their characters didn't know the full story or didn't recall it. If they had their notes, I would have given them the information, but of course they didn't, because players don't keep notes.
Toby's here. Hey!
We were just talking about some of your games, but I will be back for your games in a bit.
Yes, we need more Toby games.
Reign of Terror is set in the French Revolution, 1800s. This is set in 1923. This is, honestly, if you were gonna pick up a long campaign try getting Korra on the Orient Express. It's so fun that I'm running it and playing it at the same time under Toby, under tag session. So take my word for it. It's a good game set. Jay, do you have any like fun facts about this? Because I'm all over the place with this one.
No, unfortunately, I don't have much for that. Except my recommendation is if you do run Orient Express, it's a great investment to check out Etsy for like 3D printed versions of the bits and pieces of the thing you need to collect.
Yep. A lot of people make props for this.
It's amazing.
You can check out Type 40. They're a company as well that makes a lot of Call of Cthulhu props. It's just amazing. It's an immersive experience. I will shut up about this now and let you find out about it because I would like to talk to you guys about Night's Black Agents. I can pronounce this.
I heard about this a long time ago.
Night's Black Agents is it puts you in the role of a deadly secret agent taking down the forces of darkness. So we're still back on the weird stuff versus regular people theme that I love going on here. Yep. That's my jam right here. And we're not actually playing Night's Black Agents, but we are using the system for something that once again Toby came up with, where we play a friend and I play an ex-wet worker and an ex-CIA agent, and basically we solve crimes because we got kicked out of our jobs, and we solve small town crimes. It is the gumshoe system, which is always good for for investigative things. Night's Black Agents also has this wonderful campaign, which is called the Dracula Dossier, which involves, well, Dracula. No spoiler there. So if that's your thing, if secret agents against the forces of evil is your thing, Night's Black Agents is a good option. Yep. Basically,
I have one thing to comment about that. Night's Black Agents specifically, like the actual system. I follow this game master that does like a big blog for like, help and, advice called the Alexandrian. And he talks about the system a lot, like almost every like other article that's like urban story related. I used to run a lot of games in like Sharn, like urban settings in D&D are like my jam. I like conspiracies and stuff, and Knights of Black Agents is a really cool way. It's a really cool way to set things up where you can have layered conspiracies. The way that they have a specific way to like prep a scenario for conspiracy scenarios where it's like there's layers of like who's behind what.
Like, yes, they do have
Black
that
Agents,
system.
I believe it's vampires, right?
Yep. There are some of it that involves vampires, some of it that don't involve vampires.
Is it kind of like Delta Green, or it's like really different?
That's a very interesting question. In my humble opinion, it's different because Night's Black Agents, you are what do you call this? I feel like you have a better chance in combating evil in Night's Black Agents. Less military, more intelligence. Delta Green, the thing I love about it the most is the feeling of hopelessness. Sounds horrible. Because Delta Green itself is telling you that you can't win. The book will tell you that you can't win, but you are just staving off doomsday for one more day for the people you love. So it's very dramatic. It's not here because I haven't run the goddamn system. So next year, hopefully, if you will have me here, I will be talking about Delta Green. But Delta Green is pretty fun.
Nice.
So,
I send the experiments, by the way.
Exactly. I'm almost done, I swear. Yes. The next one is
really
Trail
have
of
a tin
Cthulhu.
for a day. Trail of Cthulhu.
Yo!
Trail of Cthulhu.
Oh my god, so many books.
Flavors of Cthulhu.
Stuff.
have so many Cthulhu stuff. So, what do you call this? As Jazzy mentioned, the Alexandria, right? I know that blog because they talk about the gumshoe system and investigative RPGs.
The 3-clue rule. Mm-hmm.
Yep. What do you call this? And in Trail of Cthulhu, it uses the gumshoe system, so it really makes for a good investigative session. I run Call of Cthulhu, and sometimes the problem is that if they keep failing their rolls, and we know that happens one session or another, they miss out on the clues. They can't uncover things because their rolls didn't make it happen. That doesn't happen in Trail of Cthulhu, and when I play this game under tag sessions right here, my God, my heart was pumping with nervousness, which is what you want to go for these books, because with the gumshoe system, you've got the points, right? The points that you could put in to get your clues. But the thing is, you're not sure, and you can feel your points running out, and you're not sure if you're putting it in the right places. So it's perfect for that feel. Like, do I gamble it at this point? Do I do it? Do I put my points here, or should I save it for a later date? Will it be my saving grace later on? It awoke something in me. Apparently, I like gambling. So...
Nope. But I honestly, I think that might be that one thing about Gumshoe that I was missing, because when I was going through the Gumshoe system in a review, that's the one thing I didn't quite get. I sort of understood that, okay, you have resources that you spread and spend on things to uncover clues, but I guess it's the scarcity element in gameplay that really builds the tension. Because for me, it's like, okay, you take away most of the dice rolling failure, but I guess it's one of those. It's kind of like how threat and momentum work in 2D20, where sooner or later you will run out of points to spend.
Yep.
Okay.
Or tracking
pretty good.
resources in like old school games where it used to be more important.
Exactly. And when we use this system in Night's Black Agent, I find myself role playing a bit bored. Does my character really care about noticing this in this situation? No. I don't really care, so I'm not going to use that point, even though the player in me knows that it might be important, but my character doesn't care at the moment. So, you know. So I think it helps with the role playing. So I've gone through Actung Cthulhu, which is World War II. It's like the, pew pew pew, boom bang, and stuff like that. And then we went to Horror on the Orient Express, which is the Roaring 20s. The Trail of Cthulhu is very investigative. The last one I'm going to talk about is Pulp Cthulhu. This is actually the system I like using for Actung Cthulhu. Pulp Cthulhu is
guns, boys, lots of. It's more action oriented.
I want to say regular Cthulhu, but with more kapow.
Yeah, it's on steroids. It's like you got more guns.
Like Savage Worlds, like where it's like hella pulpy and over the top.
Yes, exactly. So you have your regular Call of Cthulhu sheets, but this is where you get what do you call this? Talents. There's talents like Master of Disguise, where you can spend your luck to disguise yourself, and this includes ventriloquism. There's even, I believe, I don't know if they're called maneuvers, but there's stuff you can do. Like if you're about to die, you can choose to go out in the blaze of glory, where you're going to do something really amazing, like take out the bad guy. It's really campy and cheesy, and the thing is, if you've been running Call of Cthulhu for quite some time and you don't want to study a new system, you can go for this one.
Pulp's fun. It is. Like I've played a game of it, and I will say like it's definitely like there's a lot of people who are used to like combat systems, like especially I've played with people who are like number crunchy, like Pathfinder, Warhammer. They're really into the number crunch. If I would try to transition them to Call of Cthulhu, I make them go through Pulp. because it's more combat oriented.
Yep, agreed.
If you're bringing combat oriented players into Call of Cthulhu, if they're not used to investigative stuff, if they want to punch the answers out of someone, this is
Yes.
their go-to.
Exactly.
If you don't want to investigate, if you don't want to think, punch things.
Yes,
Shoot
that's a flavor of
things.
Cthulhu where you can punch Cthulhu,
punching,
and then
are
he
you more
eats
punching people, or are you punching Eldritch gods?
You
What
can
do you
punch
want?
the people that worship the Eldritch gods.
Hell
both.
yeah, okay. Do both.
Start blasting.
And the thing is, the fun part is that these books that they're coming up with, the classic ones that they're redoing, they usually have notes so that you can use this system instead of the regular system.
Oh.
So with these powers combined,
You can use them all together.
you can you can use them all together. You can change the pulp setting if you want low pulp, so kind of a Dick Tracy novel sort of thing, or we can go full Indiana Jones, Nazis and aliens and stuff like that.
Or Bullet Train like Brad Pitt, where everything's just like.
But oh my god, I'm so angry. Okay, so train fighting. Sorry, I'm gonna go to the first one. So Actum Cthulhu has really cool modules. I have to go back to this because they released a short campaign called The Führer's Train, where you get you get to climb Hitler's train and try to assassinate him on top of a moving train. And there's robot people and pew-pews and...
It's awesome.
Amazing.
I love it.
It sounds like Wolfenstein, honestly.
Yes. Oh my god,
Yes.
I just got Wolfenstein and yes! So, okay, that is me. I have calmed down before my war instincts, my primal instincts. The feminine urge to go to war comes out.
Yeah, like there's a lot of fun commentaries on chat where they're saying, likes war and gambling, amazing.
If you like war and gambling, find me at Wasabibuns. Let's talk.
Yes, definitely.
Check 'em out.
All right, thank you so much, Lance, for showing the wonderful world and flavors of Cthulhu and show and tell your books. That's a lot of books. It's nice. So all the lovely hardcovers.
You came ready with the physicals.
Yeah, the Dead Tree collection. Let's go. All right, so I kind of want to give the floor to Jazzy before I go through my list because I'm shy. Well,
really? Damn,
yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Because you're the guest here, and people are bored of my face. I talk every Wednesday. They can listen to me. I could be last. So I need your picture though. So
all right.
When you're ready to.
Yeah, I'm sending it right now. Also, question, guys, could you put your Twitters there? I want to hear your historical nerdgasm.
Yeah. I think I can grab it real quick. Oh, and paste and paste. Oh, we got the 3x3. Let's go. Okay, we're uploading. It's still loading, guys. Let me just grab. First.
Loading.
Dead Tree collection, very much. I miss my Dead Tree collection. I actually went home to my parents' house over the weekend and I dug up my old Mage the Ascension source books and then put them back because I don't have space for them here.
Okay, I know, wrong keyboard.
I'm just imagining like you have like a golden chest, like the vault on the base.
It's more like dust and
you're
like
gonna use a
plastic.
shovel.
The tree collection, so I'm gonna show off a bit more. This is Mage the Awakening, which Jay gifted to me. Mage the Awakening, which comes in handy when we play Mage because I'm a bad player. And of course, Jay's favorite, Legend of the Five Rings. I really like this, yeah. So if you guys get a chance to check out those RPGs, they're so good.
Yes. Mage, definitely. Mage the Awakening, which I will talk about later on. But we're gonna go first for Jazzy. Jazzy, let's go. It's loading. I'm panicking because I'm just doing this on the spot, guys.
Welcome to Bassy's terrible taste on RPGs. That is only marginally related to RPGs for the most part, but you know.
Here you go.
It should be fine, I think.
I'm the multimedia person.
There we go.
I'm waiting until it shows up on stream on my end because I'm
very
hella
nice.
delayed. Wait, I guess I could guess where it is. Okay, so coming from top to left, we're actually gonna talk about what's most recent. So, Wicked Ones. So, Wicked Ones is a fun game. First off, I just want to talk about what Forged in the Dark is. For those familiars with Blades in the Dark or Bands of Blades and etc. It's basically a Powered by the Apocalypse, kind of like it stems from Powered by the Apocalypse, but it kind of became its own thing based on kind of fast-paced, whatchamacallit, kind of fast-paced action as well as handling a crew specifically. So in the case of Blades in the Dark, the crew is a heisting team, a crew of thieves that go on heists together. And the cool thing about these systems is that they have very, very, very like specified structure that where you don't actually like play much outside of that structure. You do a lot of time skipping, a lot of like flashbacks, and you like skip to where the action is directly. So that's why I mean when I say yo, it's fast paced. You go plan your mission and you are there. In this case, Wicked Ones, you play as a gang of monsters. Everyone here, you're villains. You're horrible people that go plan how to best raid a village and take the resources, and then since every Fortune Dark game is all about the faces here are based on dungeon keeping. So for those that have played the Dungeon Keeper games, like the old school, like kind of like tower defense-y kind of games, that's what you do here. You kind of like have like a dance between taking care of your dungeon and having some fun roleplay with your silly minions and your imps, and then going out and making an enemy of a nearby monsters nation, like a what was it, a hill of harpies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Flashbacks.
Then Mother played in one of my games of this, and I'm planning on bringing it back now that holiday season's finally over.
Yeah. I just want to bring up for those who want to try out, because like Jazzy does actually an open table and lets new players try out the system. So if you guys want to try out the Wicked Ones, do drop by their Discord, and then you can join in on the roster, and then there will be a scheduled time when it gets streamed. And the story is like it gets continuous, but we already have an existing hideout. We already have what do you call this? There's an existing hideout. We already went through the first raid, but there could be more continuous stories because it's like a huge world and where there's a lot of moving parts. I really love how Jazzy was really introduced us in an interesting way. It stuck to me so much. The harpies name flashbacks.
Hold on, let me go through the world here.
Yeah, we can see it. We can see it behind you.
Show a bit of the world.
Yeah, it's behind. Look at that.
Yeah, so like as they said, I do host an open table where everyone's gonna be in the same dungeon. One of the fun parts and unique parts about the system is that they introduce the game and the party as the dungeon being the protagonist rather than the characters. The dungeon itself is what's gonna be living through the open table, and you can give it personality. You can give it basically its own class features, just like in how in Blades in the Dark you give your thieving crew its own like features that they can do to manipulate the world around it. And this game, you can test it out for free, I think. Never mind, that was only for Halloween. Yeah, but anyways, I was approached by the developer Ben Nielsen about this, and I think it's a pretty cool game, especially if you enjoy kind of like, playing, not playing the usual stuff, like not playing the usual role. It has some stuff that's familiar to people that do World of Darkness, like Vampire, where your characters, they're monsters. So you have a lot of incentives to like actually play into your monster side, and I find that really neat. But it also is expanded quite a lot for solo RPGs, as well as an alternate version where you can play as normal heroes if you happen to be that boring and you want to be a normal ass adventurer. You can. I don't know why you would, but you know, it's an option. Yeah, but just to segue, unless anyone has any comments about this.
No. Wait, hold on. Technical difficulties. Hold on.
Oh, everything good?
Try head. Oh, okay. False alarm. We're good.
Oh, we good. Okay, go.
Yeah. No. Wait, no. Okay. You can also try connect and disconnect if it helps. But yes. Yeah. Again, like the Wicked One's really a fun experience, and the open table once Jazzy opens it, you guys can definitely join their server, and I think like you just keep posted. There's like a specific thread, I think, specific for Wicked Ones for the open table.
Yeah. If anyone's interested, just add me on Twitter, I guess.
Yes. JazzyBassy. So yeah. Wicked One's just super fun. Like I enjoyed it, especially I didn't know there was a solo aspect to it.
Yeah, actually, that's it has like a lot of supplemental stuff at the end where it's like, oh, here, you want a different mode of how to play this? Well, here's another one. And the way they flavor this is that you are the BBEG. You are the big bad evil guy.
Yeah. Awesome.
And yeah, just to segue into the next one.
Do you have the campaign highlighted, right? The first session is highlighted on your channel as well. It's highlighted.
That was too. Oh, no, it's still there. I need to highlight it because it hasn't deleted yet.
Okay.
I just reminded me. I gotta get on that before it deletes.
So that people can see the actual play of it. You guys can check it out on Jazzy's. There's the VOD still up.
Not publicly. It was that goes away 14 days, but you know, I'll highlight it. Don't worry.
Okay, cool.
Anyways, so the whole like solo aspect. Before you asked me before how much I've been GMing. I've been a lonely person. I do solo GMing a lot. So when you were speaking about when Lance was speaking about that solo version, solo game, that what was it? Was it the one about the fish?
What?
For some reason I can't. Yeah.
It was the Black Monk, the Praxis game.
No.
Black Monk.
It was the.
Probably Black Monk. Or is it
was it that one? I thought it was the one that sounded like poetry.
Oh, the
one of the
PBTA one?
Yeah, was that the solo one?
No,
I can't remember.
No. You brought up a solo one, the 1,000-Year Vampire, but there wasn't any solos mentioned.
Well, basically, what I'm saying is that I'm really into solo games because I'm forever alone. So I want to be my own GM sometimes. So Iron Sword, Starforge is a very interesting RPG that I haven't actually run, but I've read quite a bit of it, as well as the original Iron Sword. And honestly, to talk about Iron Sword, I kind of want to talk about the original one, but it is a Powered by the Apocalypse inspired system where the whole game is based on you playing it by yourself and you making your own world, basically consulting in the same way that solo game kind of did, but a bit heavier on the random tables. The way Iron Sword works is that when you make a character, you're only playing one character. There's ways to play it with others, but you don't need a GM. The way it works is that you make your own quests, and the way that this goes is almost kind of like when you're playing Skyrim or any of the Elder Scrolls game or Fallout, where it's very self-directed. You're your own director, and with this, it goes very well with the journal style of gaming, where you write down your adventure as you go. But it also goes very well for streaming, where you can share the adventure and decisions with everyone else, as well as any new developments that happen because of it. In Ironsworn, you make your own quest, and that's kind of like what your progress through the quest is all like based on that. That's what your moves dictate, and it's very like general about it. But as you get progress through the quest and you finish, that vow is what they call it, like an iron vow. In this world, your characters kind of make like a promise, and that's what like, you know, what incentivizes their adventure. In the original Iron Sword that came out a long time ago, I think 3 years ago, it's Viking inspired. You're in a new world that you just settled in, and as you start the game, you kind of answer questions about the setting and what changed, what led you to this situation, the truths about your world, right? And in this way, it's a very good exercise for world building for yourself or anyone else you're playing with, including your Twitch audience. And here's where it gets fun. When I first ran the original Iron Sword, I did it on a Twitch stream where I had like the chat come up with all the stupid situations that come up, as well as any NPCs that come in and any monsters. It's basically handling the reins to chaos, but it kind of makes it a lot of fun. As well as, you know, it gives a taste of GMing to everyone.
Yeah, solo journaling systems are also good for stream. I've seen a lot of like new people get into TTRPGs for the first time through solo journaling. I've seen a stream where they haven't heard of Dungeons and Dragons or anything, but they got the 1,000-year-old vampire and they interacted with chat with it. So it's a nice, it's really a nice way to interact with chat. It's because it's questions and again world building. And interesting that you brought up Ironsworn, because I remember John. Shout out to John. Who was super obsessed with Ironsworn. He wanted to run the 5e because I think there was a 5e Ironsworn that came out. Was it Ironsworn?
I don't know.
There was a TTRPG that came out. Because from what I remembered, Ironsworn, or maybe I'm thinking of another Iron thing where it's a steampunkish. It was like adjacent
Iron Kingdoms.
Okay, I'm thinking about Iron
That
Kingdoms.
Is a whole different thing.
Okay, so it's not Ironsworn.
Yeah.
Because there was like a 5e one that came out, so I was thinking if that was the same thing as Ironsworn.
But I think a whole different like thought about that by the way, but I'm not gonna talk about it because that was last year. Oh boy,
that was 2021.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's different.
There's actually a lot of games that I ran or played in last year that I didn't add to my list, but I kind of wanted to talk about it because it was like in December or something.
Yeah.
But you know, wanted to keep with it. But Ironsworn, Starforge. Here's the interesting thing. Now we are moving on from the whole like new frontier, new world setting, and now we're going to new galaxies and new planets. The whole thing incentivizes, like the whole system of Ironsworn. It's a collection of tools. It's very modular. Like every chapter has like different things that you can, even your character sheet, like you build it like jigsaw pieces. Like all your assets are like little cards that you put in to your character sheet. And same thing with the world. In Ironsworn Starforge, now we're talking about your ship. What kind of modular things you add to your ship? What kind of different planets out there? Every planet is gonna be its own character, and you're gonna exercise that whole like world building aspect that I talked about at the beginning of Ironsworn. Now you're doing that throughout the game, and that's honestly one of the funnest parts to share with the chat to me. Like, I love world building. and I love running games, but it's very rare that you're able to share that while playing the game with your community. And that's why I think Iron Sword is the GOAT.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's actually
Sorry,
very interesting.
I had a
I've
lot of
heard about it.
nerdiness.
No, it's fine. I mean, I've heard of Ironsworn before. I've also heard about like epistolary games and journal making games. I've never had a chance to try any of them. But it's definitely I can certainly see the appeal. I think I was sort of tricked into trying it when I ran Dune.
Doom, let's
Ooh.
go.
The house creation mechanics for it is similar to what you just
Oh.
described. So
yeah. I
you
saw
start
that and it
off
looked
with
very
that.
similar.
Yeah, very similar. So I think even the guys from the 2D20 Modifius, they're not shy to grab mechanics that work well. So definitely something I can see working, especially in like in the format that you prefer, which is like mostly streamed.
And here's the fun thing about stuff like that. A lot of these structures for creating and world building, they are not system specific. You can take the planet building like section, like the whole oracles and like the roll tables for all these different styles of planets, which are all themed. There's even like a desert planet, by the way. So they're all themed. You could take that and make new galaxies in Dune, like make new planets. Like maybe you want to play Dune and you want to play it on a different planet that's not Arrakis. Take Starforged and use that planet creation system and take it there.
Nice.
Yeah. The same thing with I definitely something I see that's been transplanted somewhat into Dune's setting, which is why when we were doing the house creation, we even had to make the home planet what they were good at. The assets and resources that were that made your house famous, which is how we ended up with a K-pop house for that one.
Man, I need to see that game in action. Invite me whenever you run it again.
All right, I'll let you know if we ever get back to it, because I think they really do want to continue that house.
Dude, let's go. Dude.
Let's go. Same with Wicked Ones in the dungeon, to be honest. Like, I'll take that to anything. Anyways, enough about Iron Sword. I love it. You should check it out. By the way, if you want a podcast for Iron Sword that I really enjoy, check out Me, Myself, and I. It's a podcast by a voice actor that plays a lot of solo RPGs. And he made a whole series on Iron Sword. The second season of Me, Myself, and I is in Iron Sword. And he talked about, this one's the Viking one, right? And let's just say he has a lot of like creative, whatchamacallit, quality. I don't know what you call it. Like, he's a voice actor, so he's very good at, playing with himself. Oh gosh, I wrote phrasing. I'm sorry. You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
I was waiting for that. That was.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Just waiting to see when that would happen.
Watch this whole playlist. It's really funny, fun. Watch it as a movie.
It's a one-man show, basically.
Anyways. Yes. Anyways, so next up. Morgborg.
Let's go.
I
almost bought this when this went like Kickstarter. I almost bought this.
Doom music intensifies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I was gonna say this from the One Truth and Lie thing, but I am a metal kid. I am a hell of a metal kid. I grew up on thrash metal, power metal, symphonic metal, black metal, death metal, you name it. Morgborg speaks to me in like a tribal, like I don't know, like a spiritual level. Primal. Yeah.
It's not one of those things.
This is not something new. This is something that I simply just read like recently, and just as Biastania. I'll try. I'll get it eventually. Just as Yastania said, aesthetics play a lot, and this book is a work of art. Like every page has kind of like this like magazine, like like a Like you're reading like a rock or black metal magazine cover. It's just a work of art. Like it is very difficult to read for people with like, you know, some like if you have dyslexia or something like that, it may not be the best, but like I just appreciate whenever the book looks fun to read in a way that it's not just fun to play. And by the way, I didn't even talk about the game, but that's the thing. It's a very basic game. It's a old school Renaissance game where all the rules could fit in a single page. Like that is not what you're going to Morkborg for, right? I mean, yeah, you could, but the fun part about Morkborg is the aesthetic as well as the community work that people have added to it, as well as, you know, nowadays the sequel. They just made a new version that's cyberpunk inspired called Cyborg.
Cyborg.
It's a pun.
Finger guns.
Yeah. But they do a lot of work with community where they have an open license. They have, something that a lot of companies should look at and, you know, think about the worth of an open license. Wink, wink. Anyway, so Morkborg has an open out license, and the work that the community does for like doing this like black metal style, like I'm not saying it's like it's hella campy. We're talking about hella campy like gore. It's not like actually like this like visual. We're talking about like this is a game where you're gonna see like potty humor. You're gonna see like descriptions of like over the top like monsters being like gross. Like if that's not your thing, yeah, you could. I don't blame you for backing out of it. But if you kind of like those like trashy 80s movies that with like very bad like blood effects where it's like everyone's just like spraying like ketchup bottles, Morkborg is kind of the thing for you. And even the website, like they have a collection of generators to like make a Morkborg adventure or a Morkborg character. And the fun thing about Morkborg is that everything in the game is a hacking parody. Like you don't take this game seriously. The characters are pathetic and depraved. Like they have so many flaws that you think you kind of wonder how they're functional. You kind of expect them to die in some funny way, but that's kind of the appeal.
Yeah.
Seeing how it's like a horror movie where you're like, okay, how are they gonna die? You know?
They start making bets on who dies first.
Yes.
I love it.
So like, yeah, just have a good time. Open Morkborg. It's very simple. It's a single page of rules. Like it's nothing. And go through a dungeon. What I mean by what I like about this is the art community. Like the community about it is that the old school Renaissance has a lot of work put into maps as well as how they present the adventure structure. And the way they did it here is not only very artistic because of the visual and like editing style of the fonts and everything. It's also very visual in the maps as well as the structure, and yeah, very condensed. I love Morkborg. Sorry about going off. These are the last systems I'm talking about. Everything else is not really about the system, so we're good.
Yeah. All good. It's fun sharing. It's a fun sharing time, and we're learning a lot about the system, especially that you really got to deep dive into how the mechanics works and stuff, especially about the solo journaling. I think the different aspects of the TTRPG should be given focus and stuff, and you're bringing a lot to the table.
Yeah, and honestly, like, just to talk about it, look at that link and look at that website. Everybody, just look at the link that I just put.
They really did a good UI. Like it's art. The way they did the web design is just chef's kiss.
And hell, there's a free bare bones edition that you can just, a free plain text version if like that is not your thing. There's accessibility options as well. You don't have to make it miserable for yourself.
Or you can make it a game for degenerates, so that's also good.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking about degenerates, there's a dungeon generator. Okay. Anyways. Next up, I'm gonna be talking about my world. I'm gonna be talking about the Eberrons, the Eberronis, Dan Mother, and I think you too, right? Because you're the Kenneth from what I'm seeing in your name.
Someone said Eberron. Ching, ching. Hello.
Yeah. So a new Eberron thing came out, Chronicles of Eberron.
Yeah. Oh my god.
This Eberron, just to explain, it's a setting in Dungeons and Dragons that was the winner of kind of like a big poll between like community writers and adventure designers, and Eberron won. And the way that it did it is that they kind of wrote the world with expectation of people being able to access the D&D magic. What would the world look like if we had these options and we could use them for science, for applications, for services. So in a way, it's almost like, think about how our world, like or whatchamacallit, how we evolve, like electricity and everything. Think about that, but like magic instead, right? So Eberron has 5e like D&D, like a D&D support with Rising of the Last War, but the creator Keith Baker kept creating supplemental stuff like every once in a while, including Exploring Eberron, which was a few years ago. And the whole point of this is to expand the setting a bit. And this is my favorite setting, so I appreciate any like little bit more thing that we get. But Exploring Eberron was about exploring the stuff that wasn't talked about. Exploring things that haven't been seen and haven't been explored before.
I also want to just chime in that Keith Baker is so awesome. He does like daily inputs on like the stuff that didn't make it to the cut or made it to the lore of the actual world, but they sound like all of his thoughts that are shared on Twitter. Like there were some certain factions that didn't make it in the cut. Also, there was also the morning. Like he actually created like adventures getting in that area, which is super dangerous. It's basically, if you wanted a Borderlands kind of scenario, you can try running in morning, the Mornlands and like the Pharmacire stuff. Like
just explain what that is. Whole nuclear, basically magical nuclear fallout in a whole nation.
Yeah, magical nuclear fallout, entire country, and that's what stopped the last war, which was actually inspired from the 100-year War of the Roses, which is cool.
Yeah, explain the flavor of the setting. It has like the pulp noir vibe that you see in like stuff like Cthulhu, right? But it's more about the like the kind of like shadow war of like the Cold War, where a big war just happened and everyone's just kind of waiting, right? Everyone's just kind of like
it's a matter of when
investigating one another.
There's no trust.
Sure, you have it's a lot of intrigue, and in this way, everyone's kind of like trying to solve mysteries. And the thing that Kid Baker does in this world is that he leaves a lot of mysteries unsolved for the DM. Right?
Yes.
What Chronicles of Eberron is that he talks about the stuff that is actually common knowledge. So the opposite of what you would expect from Eberron, where it's kind of like open to the DM to like talk about. Here, it's at least the first part. There's two parts. The second part does talk about like other like more religious stuff about like the secrets of the world. But the first part is about the stuff that everyone knows. And in this way, this book is kind of talking more about the small people, like the life in Eberron, like the life of like what does it look like to live in this world, what does the government work like, what does nobility look like,
the politics.
What are the advances in magic? Yeah. So
honestly,
it's a pretty
getting
cool book.
books like that, which go through a lot of the setting detail and even the whole day in the life of your average commoner in the setting this is the kind of stuff that I really look for. Part of the reason why Legend of the Five Rings was so big in my mind was because of the setting, and it's a trend that I kind of felt bad about losing in terms of fifth edition, because it was really just barely enough to get surface level impressions of what a setting was, and then here's your adventure. I hear that Spelljammer also suffered from the same problem. Ravenloft is criminally underserved because their setting is huge and has so much further detail that could be better improved on. So seeing the actual creator literally just dump his notes in a much more organized fashion,
that's what it
in a way that
essentially
doesn't
is.
have to. Yeah, essentially, and it's not there for you to run an adventure. It's there to realize the world so you can build your own adventures, and that's the kind of, I guess, less hand holding that I was kind of hoping to see. Maybe when D&D moves on to the next iteration of its books, but for now it's really all, oh, here's your adventure, this is what the people look like and sound like, have at it. And then if you want to explore anywhere else, it's like, oh no, buy another book, get something else.
And this is
we're not gonna
not
go
only
back to this
for
place again.
That stuff sounds pretty like DM exclusive, right? But like, this is actually stuff that's really helpful for player characters too. You have no idea how many times have, like, as a DM, like, okay, what are the people like in this world, like, you know, the fashion style, or like, you know, the naming conventions. Like, we get asked these questions a lot, right? And that's what essentially this book is. It's kind of like the IFAQ of Eberron for the first half, and it does have some mechanical stuff too, but which I also like and I could talk about. But what I'm mostly interested is using this book as something to, like, introduce people to some of the common things in the world, or common things that their character would know, as well as helping out with a session zero, basically.
Yeah.
For me, this is gonna be the session zero book for my world, right?
Yeah. That's why Eberron's really like, I'm based. Eberron's always going to be like the best realm, because like there's just so much that they really make you. The author in the content actually sets you up for a living, breathing world compared to most of the realms. And I've ran way too much of the lore, the canonical lore, everything in the Forgotten Realms. Outside of it, it's definitely Eberron. That's intensive.
With Forgotten Realms, it's pretty scattered because of the time jumps and like how big the place is. I feel like Eberron's a lot more self-contained, and it actually speaks its themes geographically through the whole plot. Like, it has a plot for the whole setting, the whole like, last war thing.
And
everything
it plays out the other continents as well, like Corvair, Sandric, and all of that. Like there was really a lot of thought into it. Like, the world moves on whether or not the characters do anything, which is what I like.
There is a reason why base my VTuber on this world.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Everyone based.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm gonna skip to the bottom here because I have a segue to the bottom. I've been reading a lot of audiobooks, right? And I want to talk about more like the novel world of like D&D, the like stories, the books, the shows, and etc. So that's kind of like an over. I would put like the covers of all the books that I read, or like shows and stuff that I've seen, like multimedia. But the one that I've been reading the most is The Legend of Drizzt, which is a whole series that's way too many books, and I almost feel ashamed to put it here because I read 11 books this year and I have a problem. So when Danma was talking about explaining your years through 3x3, I was like, I don't have that many. I haven't run that many RPGs. Am I gonna out myself today? I'm gonna out myself today. I'm a fucking nerd. So yeah, The Legend of Drizzt is a series of adventures following a drow ranger and his compatriots. It starts all the way in the Underdark, and as them
Is this Salvatore? Is it Salvatore?
Yes, R.A. Salvatore.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah. Drizzt is known as somewhat like throughout the editions has kind of been like one of the legends of the like subconscious of D&D play, where everyone kind of knows about Drizzt. But as the times pass, and like especially with 5th edition, where there was a big novel drop, that kind of has faded away. Like, a lot of people don't like know their story, and recently I kind of wanted to like, okay, I need to find out what his deal is, right?
Yeah.
So I found out the deal, right?
Yeah, I have the hardcovers actually of all the Drizzt, the Legend of Drizzt.
Ooh, that's awesome.
I have all 4 of them.
They are actually the one that I have over there on the list is actually one of the new ones. Like, they are remaking all the covers for the next year. Yeah. Cool. And it looks very cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Ooh, nice. That is the whole like Paths of Darkness.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
That's
it is.
the one that I read the most this year. Yeah. The way it goes is that Drizzt is kind of like an exile of like the drow culture. In D&D Forgotten Realms is kind of hella on base, let's just say that, and hella like terrible. But this guy went through hell with his pet panther to like escape and find a new found family, even though at all odds of the judgment of the world above. And eventually he got led to Icewind Dale, where he meets a barbarian, fighter archer, as well as a dwarf fighter, and also like a halfling, and that's the party. And this whole adventure, you would think it's just about Drizzt, but like every book kind of like follows one of these different characters and what their deal goes through. Like in this book, they're saving their halfling buddy. In the last book, they're helping their dwarf friend. What I was not prepared about when The Legend of Drizzt, I was definitely thinking it was okay, I'm just gonna look at this edgelord, like, see their whole story, and
but they're not an edgelord. That's the funny thing.
Yeah.
They're not.
He's actually hella pensive. Like he's like very,
he's too nice.
Like, he's a goof. Like, he's the like philosopher goof of the group that kind of like talks about how much he appreciates his friends. Like,
he's the friendship is magic, happy guy. Yeah. It's just funny.
Brian or category Rodriguez, yeah. All those. Yeah, I spend way too many adventures with them on my ears through Audible.
So you're saying that Drizzt is essentially Twilight Sparkle at this point. Given that,
Drizzt is a character that we all know. Drizzt is the one drow elf with green eyes, not red eyes, because there's something in him that isn't typical of the drows. So Drizzt is
violet.
It's a race thing. No, I'm kidding. Let's not go there.
I'm not like the other drow.
Pick me drow.
I love
secret Viking. What do you call this? Genealogy.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, but Jazzy, have you read what do you call this? The War of the Spider Queen?
Oh, that's on my list. That's actually that is one about the time of Troubles, how it affected the whole like drow society, right?
Yeah, that's my jam. So I'm excited for you to get it.
I'm reading that next, actually. Like,
yeah,
after I finish,
let's go.
The current saga I'm in. Yeah, but in general, Audible, like I've also read a lot of Eberron stories. I just read the Abraxas Rand like murder mystery, whatchamacallit, Night of Long Shadows, and I just finished it yesterday, and it was really fun. I love the whodunit of like going through the city of Sharn and knowing, I need to stop. I need to stop.
Eberron.
It is time to stop talking about novels. But here's just me trying to appreciate the world of media outside of the actual games, which it's going to expand more with Critical Role, the show, as well as an actual D&D movie coming up on the Forgotten Realms next year. Yeah. So that's what I generally wanted to talk about. I'm excited about the future of multimedia D&D. Next up, multimedia.
Yeah.
Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate. Yo, Denma.
Yes.
We've had so many adventures in the world of Magic, but seeing the crossover between our two nerdoms collide and do like that has basically defined my whole year in content creation.
Oh my god, you have the poster!
The movie poster.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's amazing. They actually just got a new poster out, like
the new poster is out.
Yo, let's have a watch party of them someday. That's gonna be
Yes.
We just gotta.
Anyways, Battle for Baldur's Gate, one of my first Commander events that I ran was to hype up the set. We played on Tabletop Simulator a whole draft of Commander for Baldur's Gate, Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate. This is a D&D set for the format of Commander that you draft. You draft these cards and you make a new deck, a 60-card deck, where you pick one of your named legendary creatures that are all from the D&D lore and the D&D universe. You'll see all the characters some characters that you're familiar with, like Minsk or Elminster and etc. Or even some from like D&D adventures, like Sario from Descending to Avernus. You can pick them as the boss of your deck, the commander of your minions, and give them a background. And it's very exciting to make a deck around these, because it's almost like with the way all the references that you see here, it's almost like making a D&D character, like a character sheet from your cards. Like they even added like a background system to customize it, to give every commander your own story, and it gives them different abilities. Well, what I did here was I set up a 6-player table with folks like Plogan, Shen, Sincarius. I to some of them, like, it was their first D&D, Magic the Gathering experience. Which is funny because Plogan, with one of their first Magic the Gathering games, won the whole game as the god of death, Merkel. So Baldur's Gate is a setting I love a lot from the video games, right? I ran like a sort of like a let's play of Baldur's Gate for a bit, and I want to return to it. But yeah, have a good day. Enjoy the beach. With Baldur's Gate, I wanted to have something special with this Magic the Gathering game, where I was gonna run a session inspired on the events that happened in the card game, like a D&D session based on the MTG game that we had. And unfortunately, I didn't follow through to that, but I do want to get to that in the next year. And that's the segue for my next year.
Yes, more MTG content, more cardboard crack.
People.
More cardboard crack. Let's go. Cardboard crack.
All right.
For the crackheads.
Pathfinder 2nd edition. This is one of the latest things that I did, like, publicly. I, with the help of Seth and Villainous Egg and some other folks, I wanted to check out the Thunder VTT version of the beginner box. And yeah, we just played it. It's essentially probably one of the best ways of introducing the system to people, because before reading this, I thought it was kind of complicated. And Good lord, I'm so glad I was wrong, because the way they introduced the system was kind of unique. I'm specifically talking about the virtual tabletop version, right? They give you a tutorial on the virtual tabletop in the same tutorial as the game. So when you're going through the character creation process, you'll see like little snippets of like, okay, so here's where you go to your character sheets and your actors and like everything. And it's kind of cute for like, like getting people into the game. And Jay has already talked about like the effect of beginner boxes in tabletop RPGs, and I just want to say like this in comparison to what the starter box for D&D was this year has a lot more meat to the table. It also has a way of playing the game with yourself. So there's another common theme. I like playing with myself. Don't judge me. There's the common theme. So yeah, there's a way to test out the system without actually getting the group. But if you do get a group, it comes with like stuff already set up for you. The whole Pathfinder system has like characters that basically all the classes have like a champion essentially. I don't know if I'm explaining this well, but every class has like a unique iconic character that they've done like a lot of stuff with, including novels, even like pre-generated character sheets in this case, as well as video games. And yeah, in this we played as them, and I played as a hacking himbo fighter that just flirts with everyone in the tavern, even though half the people in that tavern were like old ladies. But yeah, it was a good time. I like playing a himbo, and I'm mostly talking about like the adventure we went through. We didn't finish it, but it was a good time. Curse of Strahd, same. I've been playing this adventure through like through the past year and to this year, and honestly, it's kind of low key because we're playing like very slowly. We're playing like once or twice a month, right? But here's the thing: I've never finished an RPG adventure, like a published RPG adventure. Never, ever. Okay, maybe a one shot, yeah, but like a big, like like
Is
big
that a challenge?
multi-part adventure.
Speedrun.
What?
Speedrun.
Yeah, let's speedrun through one. Yeah, so Curse of Strahd is special to me because it's the first time I'm going to do that. And I'm nearing there. I'm almost to the end. And like, even though like I've done like D&D stuff for a while, I'm just very excited to actually finish an adventure, like and to be able to talk about it. And because one of the things that 5e doesn't get enough credit for, I feel, is the whole community around it. The shared conscious of having something that people have commonly played. You see this in Adventurers League, and whenever they release the latest adventure, where you can talk about your kind of like you're talking about the movies, right? You can talk about like Curse of Strahd and be like, okay, what did you draw on the Taroka card though?
Yeah,
Which character
exactly.
did you get? Did you get more than Kanan? Did you get a? Yeah, it's very exciting to talk about. Is all I'm saying. Like, it's one of the best book adventures to nerd out about because of how variable it is. Same with Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and I'm excited to get to that next.
I will just comment on Curse of Strahd. Being a Curse of Strahd DM, I finished it 3 times, all with different 3 iterations, and I will agree. Like, there was almost a 4th finish, but or a 5th. I'm kind of like going out the completionist route with all the cards, but that's gonna take forever. I will agree that the community behind like the D&D, the hobby itself, when it comes to like finishing adventures and coming together and just talking and gushing about the stories, it's really fun. And there is a satisfaction finishing a campaign, having finished Out of the Abyss as well. It also published content. Oh god, there's just something cathartic about it. Like, oh god, it's over. It's over. Oh god, what am I gonna do now? So it's fun, and you have that shared thing with your players and the community as well, especially if you go through the published content, because like it's a collective experience, because everybody can experience the story differently, and there's like different experience you can connect with people with.
Yeah.
And then there's the people who managed to survive the trauma of Call of Cthulhu. Like,
yes, that is
Master
terrible.
Melody.
How did you
Group-
die?
group
What did
therapy.
you do here? No, it's the other way around. It's more like, did you guys actually make it through? Or like, how many characters did you have to? Or GM showed up with this ream of blank character sheets.
How many touchstones or how many bonds did you destroy just as to have the world be saved again?
Oh, you cut out. You cut out.
Oh, sorry.
You cut
Sorry.
out.
Basically,
How many touchstones? What?
how many touchstones or bonds did you destroy with your NPCs or your loved ones to like
in
save the
Vampire.
world? Delta Green,
Yeah.
finger guns. Anyways. Oh, fun times.
It's very exciting to talk about, and honestly, when I talk about my streaming content, I rather talk about RPGs and the adventures that happen in it with people, because that's what brings me most joy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like that it opens up discussion. I feel like I should have ended this with this one, honestly, because
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like it has the best like wrapping point. Because the next one's just talking about map makers, assets, and music. Are you all familiar with CPico? I don't know how to pronounce it. Shepeku? Are you familiar with that? Content creator.
What?
They're an illustrator map maker pair that does a lot of wonderful maps for D&D. You may have used them. You may have seen your DM use them. You may have. I'm definitely sure you've seen them somewhere before.
Pinterest.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely they're all stolen on Pinterest already. But if you're, being chill and you want to support the artist, there's the website. And what they did is that they did a really cool multimedia project called Burrowbound. And I'm not just giving credit to them. It's just that this is the most common one that you probably heard of. Shepeku, as well as, hold up, let me make sure I'm getting the right names. Will Saveno, who makes like tabletop music. You also probably have heard them before. They kind of teamed up, as well as some adventure designers to make what's essentially like packs of setting books that come with maps, villages, and soundtrack all at the same time as a magazine. So monthly, you get a piece of the map, like a quarter of the map, and you get like a little bit about the setting and adventures that could go here, right? As well as music that goes with the map. And once the month is over, you receive the full picture, and you get basically a standalone setting that you can just plug in everywhere, anywhere. The way they talk about Burrowbound is that it's kind of like a whatchamacallit, like a collection, not a collection, but like an archive from like travelers of the multiverse that kind of like talk about what's happening here in this area, right? That's how it's kind of presented to you. And it's really cool how they present this. Just from seeing that website, you can see all the different ones that they've released so far. And a lot of them are inspired by many cultures. Like they also get like cultural consultants for what they're inspired by. You can see Kadisi based in Arabic culture. It's very neat. And the one that I picked was Binderbo. I don't know how to pronounce it. Binderbot, the Dwarven Mesa Library, and it's a very neat like towered dwarven fortress that that has many like variants, and I like towers. Yeah. I just want to say I really like towers. It may be obvious from my Sharn like obsession of Eberron, but this is basically something that you can just pick and put onto any setting for a city, like a tower city wide, that you could just plug in everywhere. Think about like mega cities in Judge Dredd. That's what I would compare it to. It sucks that I'm ending it here. I wanted to end it on the Curse of Strahd one because it felt like more of a Riven, but I definitely recommend these content creators.
Yeah, it's good to give highlight on the maps. Like it's part and parcel. Like a lot of the GMs, they do need. I mean, there needs to be a highlight on what, especially on the online scene. There's a lot more games now compared to the previous years. There's more digital games, so we gotta give love to the map makers, the cartographers, the music, ambiance.
Those are really great. Admittedly, I'm the reason I've been so quiet is I've been checking them out. They're fantastic.
Yeah. Yes. I'm
so sorry then, Mother. I know. I had a lot to talk about.
No. This is the nerd out sesh, but you know, like I'm just generally worried because like it's close to lunchtime. I mean, like, okay, it's just like my window of talk is okay. I'm gonna do a speed run on my grid. Totally fine. It's like okay, probably I can do like 20 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes. Probably I'll speed run it. It's okay. At least you got to share a lot of the cool stuff that, especially, we don't want to just highlight like just the systems. we definitely want to give all the love to the parts of the TTRPG scene, like the media, like you mentioned, and the maps, and the community aspect. It's okay. Hugs.
I'm exhausted.
It's okay. You can recharge your battery. You can recharge. And introvert mode, shrink. You can do your trance now.
My what?
Your trance.
The trance. Yeah, because someone else. Yeah, because someone else. Haha. Yeah.
For a moment.
Anyways, sorry, folks, for the nerd out. I hope.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. I picked something new from this, so that's always good.
Yes.
I picked a lot from you all. I'm excited to talk about all the stuff that you talked about.
I'm gonna need a list of all these games because I can't read the tiny font on the screen. I'm gonna need a list.
Yeah, I'm gonna post all the grids on Twitter for people to see all the cool grids that the things we've shared. Yes, give some love to Jazzy. Thank you, Jazzy, for
Thank you.
all the good stuffs. So yeah. Okay, I promise I'm gonna speed run because like it's lunchtime for the Filipino gang. Filipino gang, let's go. All right, we can do this. Yes, all the so much learning. Exactly, we're learning a lot here. So I'm just gonna super speed run mine. The funny thing, it's parts of the things I've already been doing in 2021, but I kind of just amplified it to an 11 when 2022 is definitely the year of the bucket list of TTRPGs. I will have to say that because last year I was managing a community. So the pros and cons of managing a community is that you're focused on managing the community, so you don't get to do the stuff that you want to explore, try out other systems and whatnot. So this year I definitely got to dip my hands and do a lot more cool stuff. Though I did a lot of cool stuff last year, I definitely got to do more of like personal, what do I want to play, what do I want to run kind of games. So first up is Mage. I put it there for different aspects. Last year I had a debate with Jay. It's on it's on the Twitch highlights. We had like this Ascension versus Awakening debate. We had a debate where
Oh no.
We definitely had a system discussion. It was fun, and I had a strong stance last year. I'm an Ascension bitch. The Awakening's too janky, and so I complained a lot. And then like Jay presented a lot of good points that made me go, maybe I should try Awakening at some point, which I got a chance to play under the home court, under Jay's table. And I will say that opinions change. Jay managed to like Jay's actually the reason he's one of the I would say the dealer, the drug dealer of TTRPGs, because the reason I had a stance, it's funny, I had a stance years ago. I hated Mage the Ascension, and then Jay introduced me to Ascension. I was really against Ascension back then, and then I got into Ascension, and then I was like, I don't like Awakening, and then Jay pitched it again, and now I like Awakening. So Jay has a way of swaying you with the gameplay. No, it's just like join the table, experience the game. Here, have the book. Here, have some sources. So yeah, we're the crackheads. So I will say that you have to have an open mind and then keep trying a lot of things. So and that's the thing I got to do with Mage, the Mage system. So I will say that I've learned to appreciate both systems this year. And I just want to highlight, since I don't want the section for Mage actually is there is Onyx Path, the publisher, has been giving a lot more focus on content creators, which is what I love. Finally, yes, they're getting more people to run campaigns, unique stories, and like branching out to different storylines beyond just what they're putting out as a written work. So it's definitely a year for content creators for Onyx Path, White Wolf, and Mage. I was able to run like one of the first Filipino stories in the channel in Onyx Path, which for me is an achievement. I'm happy that they just opened the doors to share stories of, especially like Mage. I got to run a Filipino-centric storyline in the modern setting, which touched a lot on Philippine politics, the backdrops and whatnot, which is only systems like Mage the Awakening and Mage the Ascension can touch on, like the social landscape or the political landscape of most of the modern stories, and still somehow make it fun. Like Jay's campaign, for instance, is in New York, and there's a lot of topics there, like related to the American politics, that we actually utilize. Like example, how there's this one of the mages that used cryptocurrency to try to kill everyone by blockchaining them with an NFT. So like those fun things. Like Mage has made it really possible to weave modern cultural stuff and make it a fun campaign storyline. Like I've used a lot of Filipino storylines that is in my campaign, like the focus on like the dynamics of the Filipino Chinese families, even like the aspect of the Filipino Muslims, and like how they're not as focused in the capital. So those kinds of dynamics is also in my campaign. So that I just TLDR, I love this. I'm a Mage person. I do not hate Awakening now. That's all you need to know. Done. And then next,
I love watching you do the stuff with Ishii and Red and
oh yeah, their storyline, they were the prequel. And actually Vin's group, because he made a group with his character, it's actually one of the main bad guys in my long running campaign. And I haven't told Vin yet, but his future copy has been fucking up the main group.
Ooh.
Yeah, the
spoilers.
Yeah. So but they found out about the Hawangs already. They found the Hawangs are basically the hollowed ones. So Vin's character is one of the early progenitors of the hollowed ones in the Philippines. So fun. At least in my storyline. Yes. So yeah,
awakening or ascension? Consensus.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Good. We learned the lessons today.
That is the answer is yes. So yeah,
Well, in this group, we don't choose. We always do both. Okay.
Yes.
Both.
Yes.
I've learned from last year. But if anything, I'm glad that my opinions have changed a lot on the systems. Like I didn't give Mage a chance like 5 years ago. Then I gave it a chance, and now it's like on my top list. And then Awakening, I was like, eh. And then now I'm like, I've been playing it for more than a year now, so it's like, woo. So yeah, thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay, for this lovely drug. And then next we got Scion. I played Scion Origins with John. It's so cool. I actually played it with Lance. We did a lot of shenanigans. I was the
I'm surprised DMs asked us to return.
Yeah, I know. We just did a lot of stupid shit. Like how are we still in table? Hey, so
try to punch your way through security guards.
Yeah, I actually punched him so hard. He might have been in a coma and broke his neck.
You killed him with a punch, right?
Yeah. Because I was channeling the godhood. I was a very angry Irish woman. He punched the crap out of the guy, dragged his body into one of the bushes after giving him a burger, by the way, because he wouldn't let us in. I was like, fuck it, punch him. But it was, anyways, Scion Origins. It was a fun experience to the storyteller path mechanics. Very weird. I'm so used to the old system, but because I played Awakening, it's kind of like familiar, but not really. Still confusing in some parts, but it was fun. It was a fun experience. The one thing specifically in Scion, not just Origins, Gods came out, and shout out to Seven, wherever you are, for letting me read the manuscript of Gods. One thing I super love is I'm a sucker right now for anything that has a connection to like Philippine folklore or culture, and one of them mentioned the Visayan gods. Let's go, baby! Yeah, let's fucking go! The fact that there's like a section, because like they could have just went for the typical, Tagalog gods, but they went for the Visayan gods. Yes, it's much more hardcore. So I wish they had a deep dive on the Mindanao ones, but I understand that it's a very convoluted thing. We have a lot of undocumented, and it's like word of mouth. It's not a written thing compared to the Visayans and the Tagalogs, which is much more documented compared to the ones down south. But that's a discussion in another time. I'm glad there's representation. Visayan god representation, baby. I'm glad they had the god of death, Sidapa. They had also another god of death, which they kind of like, it's interchangeable, Marwen. Like they really, whoever wrote it, I think they're the ones who wrote there's the TTRPG, Gubat Banwa. I think it's a guy who wrote Gubat Banwa. He had a section written there, and the fact that they're getting more people from different cultures and different things.
Yeah, Joaquin. That's right. Joaquin, the guy who wrote Gubat Banwa.
Okay, yeah. That's Joaquin. Yes, I love the representation there. I love that there was more focus on the other gods and how the mechanic of the gods and ascending to godhood, and when you're a god, how that mechanic plays. I don't know if I'll be able to play god settings because I'm really not into like high mythos kind of games, but I'm just happy with the representation. Because the same gods that I've used it in my mage campaign, so that's cool. So that's it. Visayan gods, baby. That's all. And then next one.
I honestly love hearing people gush about religion. Like I like, for me, like it's like something that I don't know much about this stuff.
Oh, it's not
other people.
It's not really religion. It's more of like a cultural thing.
It's kind of like a sports team.
Yeah, let's go, Jets.
My sports team is in here. Let's go.
Yeah, so it was just cool to see a different kind of branching of the culture, especially, because like there's there's Norse mythology, there's Greek mythology. Come on, guys, there's like a whole plethora of the Philippine mythos. Let's fucking go. Have you seen our monsters? We're cool. So anyways, so that's
it reminds me of City of Mist in that way.
Yeah, I just love that there's more systems that incorporate a lot more storytelling that's with a local flair, local flavor, which is I'm a sucker for those things.
Or like real world stories.
I like real world stories. I realize I just really am into that kind of thing, the realism. So then the next one is not really TTRPG related. It's more of an app, which I think is very innovative. I only discovered them this year. One More Multiverse. Can I just say props to them, because like how I got they actually have a really good onboarding system. Like you can join their Discord, they'll let you join a game, they'll let you experience a game, everything from Monster of the Week. It doesn't have to be D&D. They make you try Monster of the Week, a system of your choosing. They help you with how to create a character. I was in their beta testing, and I was able to play Monster of the Week using their software, and I think that's I would love to run more games with One More Multiverse, but I am an old person and I'm a grandma. I just slap image, character sheet, we're good. That level of
so this is a VTT.
Yeah, it's a virtual tabletop platform that you can put your character sheets, and it's pixels, and you can literally make a pixel world, like an 8-bit world of campfires.
I've seen this before.
Yes, and
they have Blades in the Dark too.
Yeah, Blades in the Dark, Monster of the Week. They've been importing a lot more systems there that I feel like
you're cutting out a bit.
I'm sorry, but basic. Probably cutting out on Discord, but it's fine on stream. So the thing with One Multiverse is I appreciate the team that's behind it. It's international. Sarah, the creator, the creative director. You can see the amount of love put into the product. I mean, I'm calling it a product, but it's like it is. It's a tabletop product that actually caters to the community. And like, if you like pretty pixels, if you like a more like video game experience, because like some people still don't know tabletop RPGs. That's the reality of things. Video games are usually like the first games that people would get into, video games. So this bridges the gap between the video game people and the TTRPG people, I believe. And there's just something appealing about small, cute pixel characters that you can customize yourself. And just imagining it on a content creator standpoint. They even put like
it's a lot more visual to show to like a stream. For example.
Exactly. And they've updated a new feature where you make the character and it captures your webcam and you're talking as your character. It's just like they've moved leaps on the visual side of things, and kudos to the team. One more multiverse. I don't think it's multiverse.com. It's One More Multiverse, but
it is multiverse.com.
Oh, okay. But it's free from what I remembered. I got a beta key. They even have like this tutorial on how you can get the key to get access to a lot of things. Lots of tinkering.
You buy the games.
You buy the games, but
the system itself is
the platform itself is free. So it's super cool.
If you've seen like if you've been in like the days of Habbo Hotel or like Gaia Online and browser like text chat games,
the town. So like
this reminds me
that's
a
throwback.
Lot of
yeah. And even like you can separate the maps on portals to move them to another. It's just I want it visually as a player. I want to participate in it as a GM. Oh god, it's a slog to put this so many maps, and I'm gonna the details. I'm gonna get stuck making worlds that's gonna be only used once. Pain. But that is me. I tend to make so many maps of scenarios that's only gonna be appearing in one scene. So this is for an over prepping DM. The prep's gonna take a lot more because you want to make everything pretty. so
it's pretty fun for if you're gonna run the same game multiple times.
Yes, I would highly recommend it. Also, Roll App, but Roll App is something I discovered in 2021. But this is the one that I love the team, and the community is very friendly. Like there's so many people running games in their Discord, and the DM that ran with me is like a non-binary theater writer. It's like super cool.
Hell yeah.
And like I keep saying onboarding process, but it is an onboarding process on how to use the system.
It sounds like you're talking about a cult.
No, it's like it's kind of like a product, a software product. Sorry, my brain's still at work mode. Like they really have a good process of, because like in Roll20 they kind of don't have that. It's free, but you have to learn through trial and error. Then they're literally like, here, get into a game. We'll do workshops on how you can create your character. Hey, you want to know how to make this map? We have another workshop for that. It's a super active community. I highly suggest you guys check it out. So that's one more multiverse.
Definitely will.
Yeah, and follow Sarah. Sarah's really cool. Like they do a lot of TikTok content. So Sarah,
is that the
creative director? Yeah. Okay, and the next, I'm just gonna try to blaze through as much of these. Itch.io. Itch has a lot of indie TTRPGs that I discovered, one of them being Heroes of Cerulean. I have a lot on the list, but I think Itch has made it easier for people who like to create their own systems. Like I don't want to make a scenario for Call of Cthulhu, or I don't want to make a D&D game. I want to make my own mashed up hack of a system. Itch.io makes it possible for a lot more publishing. Self-publishing has been doing a lot, and that's how I discovered Heroes of Cerulean. There's also like a lot. I just have like this folder full of itch.io TTRPGs. Like when I
great place to start farming for stuff.
Yeah, if you want to, there's like a lot of community
they have a lot of
copies.
sales and bundles, right?
Exactly.
They have a lot of bundles, so you end up getting a lot.
Yeah, and the one thing also good about itch.io is that, again, it's for a writer like me, there's a lot of writing jams, TTRPG jams. Let's say you want to start headfirst on creating your first scenario, but I have a bias when it comes to that. I get terrified starting on a blank slate and thinking of your own system and thinking of your scenario. I like to
help a lot.
No, I like to lean on a system that exists. That's why I prefer to create a adventure that's related to 5e. There's an existing resource for it, or a license for it. Or Call of Cthulhu, I'd rather write a scene for Call of Cthulhu. But itch.io has a lot of writing jams of different themes, everything from like making tea, literal tea. You can make a tea TTRPG. There's a system for creating a cyberpunk dystopian thing. There's also one about there was just so many themes that I went through. Like I keep hesitating to sign up to them, but itch.io, if you are a game designer and you want to practice writing game design, create an account there, join as many writing jams, and it'll really hone your craft when it comes to writing. And also Heroes of Cerulean, if you guys like the Zelda Link games, it's a super simple, easy game to pick up on. It's its own system. It's hard to explain, but it's a very video gamey. I like getting systems where there's a middle ground, because like most of the instances when I run games, I try to find a middle ground for people of different backgrounds. So I try to find a system that complements the people I run into. I ran this for people that were really into video games, specifically like the Zelda games or the platformer games. So it helped finding that middle ground.
Suggestion.
Yeah.
So also shout out to, like, a lot of these are done in pamphlets, by the way. So
yes.
It's very good in presentation. It's very like something that you can print in like a piece of paper and you can just run it.
Yeah, exactly.
But shout out to the Latin American itch.io community.
Yeah.
Because they have a lot of good work. It's beautiful.
Yes. Oh, and Black Fisk Publishing is the one that created Heroes of Cerulean. Check them out. I think they already had it on Kickstarter. They're making a full-fledged book, but I had the ones that they had in itch.io, which is super cool. They have their starter set as well there. Jumping to, this is the one mentioned by Lance before, Black Monk. The Black Monk, but I'm focusing on both the Praxis system as a whole. I mentioned it before when Lance was talking about the Black Monk, when she was talking about Black Monk. I like systems that are very storytelling driven, and this definitely hit the jackpot on storytelling. The mechanics of like they use movie terms, like you're directing a movie, for the mechanics, like interlude, flashback. I forgot the other terms, but definitely a lot more movie-centric terms, because you feel like you're the director and you're directing the scene, and you can literally go with any scene on what you feel like would be appropriate for that, especially if you're playing a character and you build. And the thing is, before that, there's already, kind of like in a movie, you know who the characters are. You know the relationships. So when you're doing the acting, so it's a very theater kind of thing. It's like you're on the stage with players, and you have to think about the relationship dynamic. You have to think about your inner motives. You have to think about so you have to think
You're
about
more like a director.
Yeah, so there's a lot of story variables for you to make the scene possible, and then you can literally end scene. It's like and cut. So I wish I could do justice, but I feel like I'm not in Toby's level yet. Toby really was like,
oh, that reminds me of Fate RPG, which is also like very director based.
Yeah, it is I guess it's kind of like Fate, but it's like the dice roll system is only if you want to push for an action, but most of the time it's narrative, and like there could be a scene that keeps going between you and one character, and you're just having a dialogue, and then you have to weave in within that dialogue, like, because there would be some prompts of like that would help you get to the finale, because the end game is to try to get as much points. And then you could create drama as well, like, oh, I'm gonna, like, someone's doing a scene, actually I'm gonna cut you right there or I'm gonna make you stop that scene. Like it's fun. It's really fun. You could be antagonistic with it, in a sense.
Cuts.
Yeah, it's like suddenly, oh, you steal the scene, or like you can use a drama point to like, while that's happening, your character is actually there listening into the secret, so you know what's happening between these characters. Oh, they're plotting an assassination. Oh, so there's, I just love the storytelling aspect of it, and it also helps. But of course, if you're put on this, improvisation is very scary. But it's fine when you're like used to telling a lot of stories and pulling a lot of bullshit out of your ass. It's fun. it's a fun system.
It's like my vibe, honestly.
Yeah, so I would highly recommend people check out Praxis. If you're into like movie directing style mechanics, definitely would check that out. Or ask Toby to run one for you, because it's like, I want him to run the sci-fi one actually. Like, just ask him, hey, can you run this? Let's set a time and date, and then we're gonna play this. So yeah, I actually have a VOD of Off the Flesh that I did for Spooktober. If you guys want to check that out, it's super fun. But yeah, Praxis Protocol, really cool. I discovered that this year. Next is shorts. I think TTRPGs are popping off in terms of content this year compared to previous years. Like there's more shorts from Dimension 20. I mentioned the other two here, Offbeat Outlaw. There's just a lot of them actually that make the TTRPG content accessible and bite-sized. Like when you watch it, you get the reference. Or like if you're in the community for a while, you get the inside jokes with it. I love that there's more creative content that comes out. I don't watch TikTok. I don't have a TikTok app. I'm sorry. I only check the shorts. So that's, I can say that my feed has a lot of D&D or system related shorts because of just how much I binge on it, and there's a lot of fun dynamics.
The timeline is full.
full of the shorts, the YouTube shorts. But I really enjoy the creators that show bits and pieces of it.
When you say this is something that you want to get into, like, doing a lot more shorts.
No, I like watching it. I don't want to be. I don't think I have the creativity that these people have. But the thing is, from a consumer standpoint, there are just times I can't sit down and watch a 6-hour session. So seeing the bit that is funny, or like seeing the like a highlight of a scene, and how you kind of get attracted and like, hey, okay, this is what happened in this short. Okay, I kind of want to check the episode now, or those kinds of things. Or they're talking about a mechanic, or like they're talking about a funny scene. It makes you want to look into the story more. Versus like, you see the episode on YouTube, it's like, God, it's 4 hours. The short is the one that tells you what's inside it. So it's a good introduction to a lot more content creation. So
man, you're convincing me to get my content game on. I should do that.
Yeah, it's really fun to just like I have, what I'm doing now is just posting clips of like some of the things I do in Twitter, but it's 40 seconds. And it's like, it's not, well, but I'm a lazy person. I can't do that. And
me too.
Like there's no time for it. But I love seeing people make the content more accessible. It's much more fresh and crisp, and it attracts you to their channels. And you get to figure out, oh, they're actually, they're from, I think one of the groups was like from, like I discovered a group that was, they were really good speakers, but they were actually in like was that Bulgaria or something? And I was just like, oh wow, because I thought they were just like a bunch of Americans, but it's not, because of how they were really good with their voice acting and stuff like that. So I get to discover a lot more content through the shorts. So check out the shorts.
Awesome.
And then next one is community content, specifically for Dungeon Masters Guild. I would also mention Drive-Thru-RPG. This is from a writer standpoint, a game designer standpoint. I am discovering, actually, I prefer the community content more than the published content this year. I am throwing shade at Spelljammer. I waited 6 years for you, motherfucker. I waited 6 years. But so there's a lot more people who put a lot more love into their content, into their scenarios. That's really well thought out. Like, you wouldn't have thought about, let's say, I wouldn't have thought that this known town, Flan, would have more lore about the humans if I didn't check out this scenario written by someone. And then there's also there's just different aspects of like the published lore that you get to appreciate from a different content standpoint. I just have a gripe with the community content in terms of how I think it was that Bronze Girl who brought it up. They're a well-known Indian content creator who runs a lot of 5e. They're also part of Dimension 20.
I have a book by her.
Yeah. So she pointed out that the TTRPG writing industry is a hellhole. It's really hard because like in a sense that there's a lot of passionate people that aren't getting compensated enough. It's like you're struggling to get your content out there because of the way the system is set up. I'm seeing all this wonderful content, these modules. I've seen people release more adventurers modules, dungeon crafts, homebrew systems, even like a new revision of things that made the hardcover better. Like there was guides for published books. Like example, Out of the Abyss, there's somebody who let out a guide to make it easier to run. Even Curse of Strahd had another guide that made it a lot more streamlined, made Curse of Strahd a lot better, nuanced, and stuff like that. There's a lot of good writers out there that create those guides, create those suggestions, create those things that improve the content. But like coming from somebody who's published their whatever amount you're paying them, half of it goes to Wizards, and it's just like pain, the royalties are pain, the exposure, the marketing is pain, and it's just like they need more love.
For the bigger ones, it's gonna get worse with when D&D from what
Yeah,
I've heard.
exactly.
For the bigger ones.
Yes.
I really hope that, because the thing that made me appreciate the published content more was the community content. That's the sad thing. Like I wouldn't have known more nuances to like the other towns if I didn't get to read up on it on another module that was written by some person who really did a deep dive and a really good interpretation of it. So more love to the writers, please. that's my gripe.
Yeah.
So it's a love hate. It's a love hate bittersweet kind of thing.
I don't wanna. Yeah, I wanna take this moment for Lance and I to basically throw a shout out to Chaosium for doing a fantastic job at promoting their community content
yes,
stuff.
I will.
Like
I will
every
say.
week, they will promote who's been doing best in their creator content, why you should check it out. They will work with their content creators, and it's a very different story. I mean, I've been following RuneQuest for a while, even if I've only run it like twice in my life. But their support for it is fantastic. They will make space on their social channels to push the best-selling Gloranthan content in RuneQuest, written by these people who don't actually work for us, and it's just because they, it helps promote the settings.
They acknowledge the community.
So different.
Yeah,
very different. Yeah.
My experience with writing, that's the reason why my first scenario or my first module was called Chaos, because they really have a super supportive system that even to this day, Dorian, by extension as well, RPGC, who also does exposure for a lot of Southeast Asian creators. This one in particular, like Chaosum, they really are promoting you, and then they don't make you feel the pain of the royalties. Like, I'm sorry we're taking this much, but here, have some exposure. Like, there's somebody from Korea who found out about my module. And I'm like, what? Oh, because they promoted it. They promoted it to their channels, and I didn't even know I was getting promoted. And they just like, hey, there's this new title coming out. You go check this out. It's based on the Philippines. And it's just like, oh, okay. They're doing. It's like it's intrinsic in their system to promote their community, and they would, even if you haven't written for a while, they would still send you newsletters. They would invite you to their cons. Like they're very approachable to their community. I've experienced it from a writer standpoint, but Dungeon Master skill could use some work. But I will give a shout out and all the love to all the writers that are putting their stuff out there and made me love the published lore. You guys are the MVPs. Yeah, please. They need all the love. If you guys see somebody who released a Dungeon Craft module or just anything in general, support them. Like there's a lot of hours and timelines to get that thing out. So yeah, that's. Writers deserve better. Anyways, that's just me. Writers deserve better. So yeah, and the last two, I'm just gonna speed run it. I've been enjoying a lot more cyberpunk related things. Like I said, sci-fi is my favorite genre, but I do have a curse when it comes to sci-fi. Every time I try to run it, it either gets canceled, it doesn't happen, it only goes through one episode, and it dies. So it's like Star Wars was a lucky thing because shout out to Plogan who's in chat, and then Seth, who just through sheer force of will and passion we got through 4 episodes. Christ. So I thought I wouldn't get more opportunities with sci-fi related shit, but I got to play more cyberpunk. There was this one by Christoph Alejo, Songs of Babylon. He did a cyberpunk hack for City of Mist. I was able to run for a one-shot table for a local group here, variable play, where there was a lot of nuances that I got to play with thanks to I got to experience City of Mist in a cyberpunk setting. Christoph made it possible. Really, really good stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah. Filipino writer as well.
So the system of City of Mist or the setting of City of Mist?
The setting is with a cyberpunk theme. So you could have augmentations, artificial intelligence, which I'm just a sucker for. like I get that City of Mist is like more on the lore of the gods and stuff, but he had a way to augment like the gods with tech, which is also explored in Mage. Slowly inserting Mage in a lot of things. Like data being a sphere, or like technology being a form of magic as well. But anyways, that's Songs of Babylon and Cyberpunk Red. Holy shit! I went through copium with Edge Runners. I'm not gonna lie about that. I cried for 3 weeks playing one song. I really want to stay at your house, and I got a bunch of friends to play Cyberpunk Red. It's one of those TTRPGs that I've always wanted to play, and because of the popularity of Edge Runners, I got a bunch of people to try out the system, and I gotta say, I love the all style kind of play. Like they have a phrase for it, like style over substance or something. Like, do the craziest shit you want to do, but at the same time being tactical.
Do it for the cool points.
Yeah, do it for the cool points, exactly. There was a lot of cool things that happened with Cyberpunk Red, and also I'm a sucker for the lore, especially in the Roaring 2020s.
Roaring 20s.
Yeah, the Roaring 2020s is so good. I set up the world before the time of Red, which is spoilers for might be spoilers for some people. But
different kind of 20s.
Yeah, so something happened in 2023. And then like the way that the world was written is that you can actually choose a different time when to insert. You can do it from the 2000s, even the Roaring 2020s, or set into the future. Cyberpunk Red allows you to. Yeah.
By default, they do the time of Red on the like 2040.
Specifically, it's 2023. It's locked in on that time. Then they explore the Roaring 20s, but Red actually encapsulates the entire timeline all the way up to time of Red, and then explore 2045 as well. So you can literally throw your characters in any timeline. You can do it after the time of Red. You can do it before the time of Red. You can even throw them in the first corporate war, the second corporate war, even during the mob wars, or before Night City. Yeah.
Here's a fun thing about the way Arthasorian Games does it. They release both free and paid DLC in the website with different time periods or settings for Cyberpunk Red. So it's a game that keeps expanding.
Yeah, exactly.
For free.
Exactly. It's a super, like, in terms of lore, I'm already in love with it. Mechanics still getting used to, because like there's some skills that still confuse me. There's a difference between perception and human perception. There's education as a category and education as a role. So it's like, So it's the growing pains of learning a system, but I'm glad I get to at least run it once. And I will say it's a better version than Shadowrun, having played Shadowrun. I'm sorry, Shadowrun. I'm putting you down. So yeah, that's it so far. And the last but not least, closing it out, the latest game that I played is GURPS 4th edition. I played it as a player. And also, I've actually encountered systems similar to this. Looks at Jay with the hero books that I have. I'll get to promise. So, there's just, I mean, having gone through Pathfinder 1st edition, I understand the build stuff from the ground up kind of scenario. I've spent 2 weeks just trying to build a character in the first one, the first system. It's painful, but there's a satisfaction to it that when I do it now, it's a lot easier. You appreciate the different kind of builds that doesn't limit you to, like, example 5e. It's very streamlined, which I understand why it's streamlined. It's a better setup for character creation that you can make it in 10 to 30 minutes. With Pathfinder, it's like they gave you so many resources that you don't just settle with one subclass. There's like multiple ways you can go about it. And there's like RP points. So it's like, but GURPS takes it on another level, like hold my beer. we'll build it from the like anything's possible. You can make a James Bond villain penguin if you wanted. Like yes, that system makes it possible that I've actually made a depressed alcoholic priest who knows how to exorcise demons. And there's different, you can give them quirks that are actually put into the mechanics. You can add flaws. It's overwhelming. Not gonna lie, it's so overwhelming. There's so many things. Yeah, go ahead.
GURPS is the first system I've ever read.
And it's so overwhelming. It's like, what is this?
It was my first exposure to like the actual written RPG. I was like, yo, okay, I want to get into this, but which one's the one that's most default? And when I it's a generic universal role-playing game. So when I was a kid, I was like, that's the basic one. That's the, the default vanilla flavor, right?
Yeah,
I was wrong.
Yeah, it was super
very wrong.
It was very overwhelming, but I'm thankful that because like it's a kind of system that you either like it or you don't like it. And I tried it because I really wanted to check off my bucket list for it. And there was somebody who was literally holding my hand because I was like, what the hell is this?
It didn't turn me off. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I understand why it would be a turn off. Yeah.
Generic like universal like role-playing games are kind of like an interesting topic to me, like because a lot of the draw from RPGs like ends up being this scenario, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that you can really sell like a game system without that, just the system and the idea of like making your own thing is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I enjoy it in some ways, just not this one. For me, the universal one that I like is Fate because I like character drama and stuff. So I like to think about, instead of mechanics, descriptions.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
It's pretty interesting.
I grew an appreciation for it. It's like me getting into Pathfinder First Edition, where it's just like, oh my god, there's so many things. But I will say,
how would you sell it to someone?
I would actually grab the person who would sell it better. It's like, hey, talk to this friend over here. So but I will say that the experience in itself, it really depends on the person that's running it, and I'm thankful that the GM that ran it for me was super passionate. That he's been running a lot of like one-shots and campaigns in his own circle and online. He's just been trying to spread the love for GURPS. Like, there's not much love for GURPS, and he's just trying to get people to try GURPS, and it's really nice that he's doing that. And funny enough, he's from Ukraine, and when we were on the first session, we were playing the game. There was a missile strike that happened really close to where he was. That there was a power blackout, but he turned on his mobile phone and he ran the game with just his mobile phone and a flashlight. Like that was hardcore. Like I will introduce GURPS to you. And I was like,
yo,
yeah, the man after my own heart. Like, yeah, and thank you. Like, if you saw the VOD, like he was just like on his mobile phone with a flashlight, and it's like, I'm sorry, I don't have the maps.
He's built different.
Yeah. So like, there are people that are passionate about GURPS. I realize that there are people who love the system so much, and and you get to meet people like like Jazzy and a lot of groups that they're really passionate about this hobby, and you gotta appreciate them for just like, hey, I want you to know about my hobby, I want to share that to you. And I'm glad I get to meet people like that. It's like, holy shit, the determination. Like, who runs a game in a blackout? Like, most people would be like, okay, let's cancel this. Like, no, we're gonna run this. I'm gonna have my mobile phone open. It's like, damn, son.
Deserted island GM.
Yeah, like, whew, like, I'm glad I get to meet passionate people like that from different systems, and you get the respect for the system, not for the system itself, but for the people that are really passionate about it. So yeah, that's how I'm gonna end it love the passionate nerds who are introducing the hobby. Give them all the respect. Don't be like, okay, no, just Tommy. no.
Who will run for you even through a missile strike?
Yeah, even during like, oh yeah, we got a power, like all the power went out, the capacitors went out, and there was a missile strike, and it was like super calm. Oh, no, it's fine. It's like, you're fucking Ukraine, man. What the fuck? So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, send love to your GM. Like,
give love to your GMs,
the session's done.
Yeah.
Give them a hug. Bake some cookies. Give them a gift. You know, give them everything. Like,
yeah. And he wants to run more GURPS campaigns. Like, if anyone's interested, he wants to run GURPS campaigns. So if anybody
want to try it in an interesting way, because Fallout 1 and 2 were actually based on GURPS, right?
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
I'm interested in, you know, I know that Fallout 2D20 is like the shit for you, Jay, but I'm actually interested in trying that in GURPS.
Yeah.
No, I think GURPS
just for the authenticity.
Yeah, I think GURPS will also work for it well, considering that the way that GURPS handles like everything from I guess equipment down to aiming, down to all these other things, all the fiddly bits. Basically, just turn on all the detail switches, and you get GURPS.
It is very I think it's a fine idea. Fallout 1 and 2, right?
Yes, yeah, complete with the action point economy.
Yeah. So
see how fucked up your arm is.
Yes, that ends my spiel. Thank you guys again for joining this lovely closing of 2022 and just being able to talk about
thanks for having us.
The things we love and the things we discovered through the year. Thank you guys for the time. I know we ran for 3.5 hours. Holy shit. Everybody have a good lunch. No, we have a good lunch. Definitely we'll have this on a VOD. I guess this is just my closing. We're gonna close now, and I'm gonna look for somebody to raid. But meanwhile, where can people find you? It's segment time. So we'll start first with Jay. Where can people find you? Your socials, blog, whichever.
I'm on Twitter, Philgamer. And I do have a WordPress blog, philgamer.wordpress.com.
Yeah.
And I've been meaning to get back to reviewing things more often because I've only done 2 this year, but that's about to change given the amount of stuff that's going to be coming down the pipe.
Yeah. Oh, and what was the recent thing you reviewed? I know you just recently posted one. The
Fallout 2D20 starter set. Review was up.
Yeah, if you want to read up about the Fallout Modifius one, Jay got you covered. Yeah, he did a review on it. That's cool. Alright, and so WordPress, philgamer.wordpress.com, and of course the Twitter, and review for the Fallout D20 starter set. Next, we got Lance. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter. Talk to me about gambling and war and history.
War never changes.
And history. If you are locally in the Philippines, you know what? Follow me on my Instagram, which is also Wasabibuns, and my Facebook, and we can probably, see each other at one of the cons, because I actually go to cons now and sell stickers. Yay! So see me there. But if not, Twitter's great.
Awesome. All right. So next we got Jazzy. Where can they find ya?
Ahoy, I'm Bassy. You can find me on JazzyBassy VT on Twitter. I don't use it as often as I used to, but I'm working on a card for it. So honestly, I would still use it for like whispers and everything. But actually, Discord is a better place. But I don't know if I can if that's a good idea to just put my Discord ID. But you can find me on my channel that I've been typing with. I've been kind of on a content drought lately, so I'm taking a bit of a break because of the holiday seasons, but I'm I'm planning to get back soon. If you wanna listen into anything or join an open table of the Wicked Ones, just tune in and I'll invite you.
Awesome. So, okay, I found someone. They're doing TTRPG stuff. Lost Caravan RPG. They're on their 7th episode. It's Through the Breach Nightmare. Welcome to Malifaux. They do one-shots, mini campaigns. That's a full cast. So we'll go raid the lovely Lost Caravan RPG. Oh, they're 3 hours in. Oof. Okay. Yeah. Oh my god.
What campaign is that? Sorry, what game?
It just says I actually am looking. It says Fate Master. Like the GM's Fate Master, so I'm not sure what system. This is a new system for me.
Fate? Maybe Fate?
Malifaux?
I don't know.
Malifaux?
Yeah, Malifaux. It says Welcome to Malifaux. So I'm guessing it's the Malifaux?
Well,
like, is it the minis?
Yeah, the Malifaux RPG. It's based off the miniatures game.
Oh, it is. Oh my god, I have minis of that. I have minis of Malifaux. Yeah. So let's go read them out. Alright. I know how to button, I promise. Oh no.
Alright, bye-bye everyone.
Wait, hold on.
Nice spending time with y'all.
Yeah, it's been fun. Thank you to everyone. Again, thank you to Lance, Jay, and Jazzy for your time and just sharing your content picks. Continue to spread the love of the hobby and, don't stop nerding out. Keep being your nerd selves all the way to next year. Continue to spread it.
Spread infection.
Spread it. We'll just say we'll just stick to the raid ones. Yeah, we'll stick to the raid ones. Raid 1, raid 2, raid 3. I swear, I know how to type. The third one is for those that sub. You guys don't need to sub. So yeah. Awesome. So yeah, thank you again, guys, and have a good lunch, have a good day, time zones, whichever you guys are at, and see you guys on the next stream. Bye.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Don't let Cthulhu steal your mind.
No.
Do it.